They even welcomed the destructive myth of gender fluidity and transgenderism to infiltrate their membership. Along the way, standards were lowered and merit destroyed in favor of an insidious, radical, woke ideology that is anti-America and anti-American. The result, membership cratered. Americans didn't want this. In 1970, 10 million boys participated in Boy Scouts. Currently, less than 1 million boys and girls participate. Further, many of these community organizations that once supported Scout troops, they withdrew their support. And Scouting America, the parent organization, filed for bankruptcy protection. The changes Scouting America made since 2012 have also jeopardized the relationship with this department. And I was very seriously considering ending our support of Scouting altogether. We have a department to protect, after all. Beyond that, the policies Scouting America have in place violate President Trump's Executive Order 14173, entitled Ending Illegal Discrimination and Restoring Merit-Based Opportunity. But before making this big change, I decided to meet with the current Scouting leadership to convey our deep concerns. Based on that face-to-face conversation and subsequent conversations, Scouting America agreed to make several key reforms. And let me briefly highlight a few of them. First, Scouting America has agreed to comply immediately with the provisions of Executive Order 14173. This includes reviewing and replacing politicized, divisive, and discriminatory language throughout the organization, programs, and all publications. No more DEI 0. Second, the, quote, Citizen in Society Merit Badge that encouraged Scouts to explore diversity, equity, inclusion, and identity. They always mask it under a name that sounds great, but it's doing something else. And then asks those Scouts to engage in activism on those topics. That badge has been discontinued.
But I thought Trump said DEI was dead in the water, dead to rights. This is something that was supposed to have been stopped. What are you doing?
Third, Scouting America will modify its policy to make clear that membership will be based solely on biological sex at birth and not gender identity. That means that the application, any application, will have only 2 sex designations, male and female, and the application must match the applicant's birth certificate. Scouting will also make clear that biological boys and girls will not be allowed to occupy or share intimate spaces together. Toilets, showers, tents, anywhere like that. Fourth, Scouting America will honor those who serve by waiving the registration fees for children of active duty, Guard, and Reserve families. Should have happened a long time ago. Fifth, in partnership with the War Department, Scouting America will introduce a new military service merit badge. These and other changes that Scouting America's leadership committed to, in that room right over there, will hopefully result in a rededication to the foundational ideals that have defined Scouting for generations: duty to God and country, leadership, character, and service. However, as President Reagan famously said, trust but verify. This agreement is new, and the department's support for Scouting America is contingent on them making substantial progress toward reaching these and many other positive changes in the next 6 months. At that time, we'll vigorously review progress and decide whether or not to continue our support. The onus is squarely on Scouting America to deliver. If we're unsatisfied with Scouting America's progress toward and commitment to the agreed upon reforms, we will find them in violation of the President's executive order and cease our support. We hope that doesn't happen, but it could. Ideally, I believe the Boy Scouts should go back to being the Boy Scouts, as originally founded, a group that develops boys into men, maybe someday. There are also additional youth and boys organizations, groups like Trail Life USA and Awana clubs, that are already compliant with President Trump's executive order that the department may eventually support as well. But we're watching, and we're watching closely. We look forward to providing you with updates after our 6-month review, and wish the best to Scouting America.
Department of War is looking pretty good over here, man. They got their little, I like how they have that end jump cut.
Scouting America.
That's nice. That is nice. All right. Coffee with the Collective podcast. No. Not interested in female content creators. The UK is cooked unless, let's say, nah, I don't really care. It's UK. I don't care about anything that's happening in another nation. What's happening in the UK is what's happening in the UK. The Poor Man's Podcast reacts. Let's say.
And this guy decided to just walk into stores just like the old school to try to get a job. Let's see how it works.
It's 2026 and no one can get a job. Indeed, LinkedIn, Facebook Marketplace, no matter where you apply, everyone always wants experience. So I thought I'd try it the old-fashioned way. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. I'm here to inquire about a job.
Okay.
Great with customer service, I'm good with memory, and I'm a quick learner. And I love food,
That's
especially
good.
McDonald's.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Okay, I can see if I can take your resume.
You want to hear something insane?
I can take your resume for a McDonald's job. That's crazy. When I was growing up, I'm telling you, they was hiring anybody with a heartbeat.
You don't have a
A
resume.
resume is crazy.
Yeah, a resume is something that is not needed for something like this or any of those positions. Is either are you willing to do it or not? This is what's killing American businesses. Yeah, I decided to come back to YouTube. Oh no, I'm pulling out all the stops now. I'm just going to go ahead and expose about all these social medias, making sure that everyone can go ahead and acknowledge the censorship of what they're doing to me. YouTube is definitely suppressing my content, just as bad as TikTok and or possibly worse. Yeah, I believe it's worse than TikTok.
I can take your name.
Okay.
I like you. Are you friendly?
You like me?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Thank you so much.
What are the chances you give me an interview right now?
Right now, I don't have authority right now.
Okay.
If I would definitely.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, this might be harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to be walking into random stores to see if I can get a job on the spot.
I have a proposition for you. You give me a job, and I become your best salesman that you've ever had.
I will take a resume for sure, but it's not up to me.
A resume.
I know how unlikely this sounds, but people used to do this all the time. There was no resumes, no online forms
Yep.
or unemployment agencies. If you needed a job,
I need you guys to stop calling these positions jobs. Your job is whatever you can build at home. That's your job. Your job is also taking care of your body. That's your job. It's also not something you're supposed to be celebrating too. This is not an accomplishment to do these things, to care for yourself and your well-being, and also the upbringing and upbuilding of your home. But this is slave labor. It really is. You become a corporate slave no matter what position you assign yourself for. Exactly what it is. It's unfortunate that it's gotten to this point, but that's where you currently are. It's rough.
you went down the road and asked the local shops.
I thought fossil
Well,
was
the problem is there aren't any local shops anymore, and this is what happens when you corporatize everything. This is
And also everything, if you notice, the workers, they're nowhere to be found. Where are the workers? All I saw was one person per business that he was at. And like probably a couple team members. But other than that, there's nothing else happening. Nothing else going on.
part of the issue. There are no more local shops where, you know, who you are in the town or in the community speaks to your character, and they know you because they went to school with your parents. And so you go in and you need a job. They already kind of know who you are and you could get the job. That just doesn't exist anymore. Now it's these systems of convenience But it's really only convenient for the major companies that build these inconvenient systems where they want you to go online, submit your resume, then all these artificial intelligences start scanning your resume and getting rid of resumes just because they don't have certain keywords that these corporations want in the resumes. So they're kind of incentivizing people to learn the keywords and then learn how to game the system. So you're automatically getting the worst people because you're getting people who want to lie on their resumes because that's kind of what you have to do to even get the job. So yeah, the problem is there are no local places anymore. It's all corporatized.
One, I thought she was gonna hire me there. Like, she really looked like she was convinced.
So that's what I'm gonna do. And by the end of this video, I am gonna have a job.
Nope. Knock, knock, knock. Good evening. Look no further. Your top employee of the month every month. Right here. This guy. Are you guys hiring? No? No?
Dang.
Really?
If you go to,
I thought you said I don't know.
no, we're not hiring at this store. You go to this website here, build.ca/careers, and it tells you what's open. What's the
Slim
nearest-
pickings, dude.
what's,
Go to the
near
website.
you?
This is near me. Come on, come on. Look, I'll be the employee of the month every month. You can even put me on trial period and I won't get paid. Just so you can see how good I am.
Not my decision to make.
Whose decision is it, Fahad? Please.
The company's decision.
I need this bad.
You're hiring. We're not hiring, but you can always check
Nobody's
other
hiring.
stores that are hiring. You have to kiosks right down the
Oh, okay. I'm assuming you work here? Look, I'm not here to buy anything. I'm here for a job.
Let me just find out for anything right now. I know we were like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know if we still are. So,
Oh,
yeah.
But they're not hiring.
they're not hiring.
That's crazy.
Okay, that's cool. I'm only,
You just want to give it in, or like?
dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was gonna talk my way in. There's no resumes in here.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. But yeah, I'll try somewhere else. Thanks.
You know what's crazy is you would assume that especially in any job that requires sales, a person that's willing to walk through the door shows a certain initiative that people who are hiring should respect. And even if you're not hiring in that time, in this day and age, for somebody to have the initiative to walk in, he seems like he's good with his words. He seems like he's social. He seems like he's a people person. You would assume that that would give him more credibility, but they still want him to go through these artificial intelligence systems.
Look, I'm not here to buy anything. I'm here to get a job. I'm the best salesman / classes expert you'll ever meet, okay? I'm so confident I don't even have a resume, all right? So, what do you think?
Unfortunately, we're not hiring.
You're not hiring? Fuck, no one's hiring. This economy is so bad, eh? Damn. Okay. You sure?
Economy is so damn bad, they don't even have the production to purchase anything in their store or to even sell anything in their store. There are no sales. Those stores are empty. Every store this man went into has nobody going to them.
Nobody's
Look, Prada,
hiring.
see, I know. Versace. I know this stuff. Have a good day. Nobody's hiring. I'm not here to buy anything. I'm here to give you the best thing you'll ever get. Employee of the month every month. Me. I could sell anything to anybody. I could sell water to a fish.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He can sell sand at the beach. He can sell Chick-fil-A on Sunday.
Is there a hiring manager here? Hi, sir.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they just left for
Dr.
lunch.
Wasim, bro.
Yeah,
Wasim's a hiring manager?
yeah.
Wasim, where you at?
Wasim? Hi, Peter. I'm looking for a job. And I'm the guy who could sell water to a fish. I'm a really good salesman, really good people person. Just give me a shot.
I wish I could. The guy that does the hiring's on break.
Oh, they told you. They told me you
I know what they told you, but he's on break, so it's kind of like.
on break. Like he's here though.
He's outside.
Okay, so I'll come back in like
No,
15.
Champs isn't hiring?
Perfect. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Wasim. I actually have a very interesting proposition for you. You hire me, and you get the best salesman you will ever get in your life. You believe
But
it?
it's not up to me.
Who's it up to? What do you think the chances are I get hired on the spot if I come meet the sales manager or the?
Possible because that's what happened to me. So.
That's what you have.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a smooth
Okay.
talker. Okay. Isn't that what it takes?
I guess. I don't know.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Thanks.
So there's hope. There's hope. It worked for her, but it seems like it's very interesting that there are all of these managers, and none of the managers just so happen to be in the stores when you have a guy trying to apply for a job.
Because it's one millionaire or 1 billionaire that owns all those stores all together. That's why they're all close together, and that's why they all don't have that many customers. But they still stay afloat in that area with very select groups of like people to work in these positions. American economy, this sucks. This really does suck.
Like, where are all the managers? What are you managing if you're never at the store? Why are none of the managers at the store?
Daria?
Yes,
Hi, I'm Peter.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
How
too.
you doing?
I'm great. I just spoke to the lovely young man over there. He told me to speak to you in regards to looking for a job. Let me just say one thing. I know you're probably going to say apply online or give me your resume. I am one of the best salesmen you will ever meet. I could sell water to a fish. I could sell water to a fish. What I think is if you let me come in here for a week, trial phase, you don't even have to pay me. I'll work for a week. And if I exceed your expectations, maybe we'll talk about a full-time position. If not, that's okay.
Dang, bro is offering a free trial.
For that to happen, I have to have a full-time position available, right? And that's not something that I control. Part-time positions happen more. Yes, ma'am, of course. So I don't want to waste your time if I don't have a position open. You know what I mean?
I'm willing to take that risk, Daria. Even if you let me come in for a week.
Why do you want to work here?
Because I like watches, and even though I don't wear one.
Yeah, it's because he needs a job, obviously. Like, why do they expect like a philosophical conversation around why you're passionate about?
Thank you. If you need a worker shows up, wants the job. Give the man the job. It's very freaking simple.
Specifically fossil watches. It's like, no, I just need a job. I need some money. I need money, so I'm willing to exchange some of my time so I can make some dollars. I don't want to be a part of the family. There's always some type of family. I don't want to be a part of the family.
I'll go watches.
Which is always a fraud too, mind you.
Movement, takes,
So what kind of movements
faces.
does Fossil have?
Which one specifically?
Any of them.
Any of them? It's a chronograph movement. These look automatic to me.
Great salesman.
I think she needs help. You can go ahead. I'll wait.
15-minute wait.
I've shown you I could be patient too. Right?
You have no choice. You're a good salesman. I can see that.
The only thing I'm good at is talking to people.
Yeah.
In my experience, people buy from people they like.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 1-day, 2-day trial period. See how I do. You don't even have to pay me. I'm serious.
I'll be honest with you. I guarantee my boss gets to me and no.
It's not
I'm not gonna lie. I've never bought things because I like the person that was selling it. I usually buy it because I'm already looking for it. And if the person who's selling it is cool, that's cool. But I'd rather have somebody who's more informed on
Yeah, that's it's like a double positive.
what they're selling than a person that I just like personally. But I'm not usually the type of guy that buys something because somebody's a good salesman. Usually I'm already interested in the thing, and it's a bonus if somebody's a good salesman, but that's usually not the thing that moves me.
I thought I had Fossil in the bag there. Maybe I'll go to the outlets that she recommended, and I'll see if I can get a job there. I'm gonna try a couple more places. I think I'm gonna change my approach a little bit. I feel like I'm very close, man. I feel like I can taste it. I can taste the rainbow, man. I can taste the job.
He's overqualified.
You hire me, and I'd be employee of the month every single month for the next year. I could sell anything. I could sell water to a fish. I could sell anything. I have an interesting offer for you. You hire me, and I will sell 50% of your stock within a month.
Dang, that's a big promise.
I can't make the call on any of that.
No? For
Your
sure.
approach is actually really good. Actually, like I never had people actually like web like straightforward with me like that, but I like it. So I'll definitely forward it to like my actual manager. She's on vacation this week.
You
See,
hire me?
nobody's there. No managers are at the place that they're supposed to be. Everybody's.
Yep. And who's to say if there's any such thing as a manager? I don't think there is. I'm gonna be honest with you. You'll probably hear from the same person at every store. They come to find out this is a manager that really ain't a manager, but it's like some multi-billionaire that owns the company. and you have to get through them in order for you to work, or whatever other humiliation ritual that they have already preset for you to have to go through in order for you to get the position.
He's saying I have to give this to the manager in like 5 days.
And I will be employee of the month every month for the next 6 months.
If you have a resume or anything, I can take it off of your hands.
Damn, I wanted to avoid that option.
Sure.
It's not that I don't trust you with my resume, it's just that I actually just don't have one. I have no experience.
I saw the line paper.
Did you? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You as well.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time.
yeah,
Thanks, guys.
yeah.
Where do you watch your series? If they hire me, I'll tell you. All right. I clean up. I'm organized. I'm a good delegator. I'm a good leader, and I have a very bubbly, loving personality.
Yeah, it probably doesn't help that he has like a camera attached to his head. That probably doesn't help.
People love me, so why not take the risk? Give me a shot. Give me 1 day to impress you. I was hoping it was like back in the old days, you know? When you come in, you'd be like, hey, can I get a job? No?
He said no.
But
It
you
doesn't
remember
work
those
that
days,
way.
right? That was a good old days. Come on. Dude, what's insane is like I know they want to hire me. Like I could tell they want to hire me. You can't hire me?
I cannot hire you.
Why not?
Because I don't have the authority to hire you.
Who has the authority?
The manager.
Is she the manager?
No, she is.
Who's the manager?
Do you want to meet the manager?
I would love to meet the manager.
The manager is now just like an AI system that you have to.
Yeah. It could be a possibility that the manager also is an AI too. That's man, that's crazy. AI has become gods to these people. And this dude is too damn sweet.
Submit your resume to, and then they wonder why like all of these companies will complain that their Gen Z workers aren't good workers, and it's because the people you are trying to hire are automatically gaming the system. Like this is a guy who obviously has his stuff together, but it's hard for him to find a job because he has to go through like this weird system that's been set up for convenience. But yeah, the reason why you're getting bad employees is because you're incentivizing people to learn how to game the system. So you're hiring a bunch of liars essentially.
And I become employee of the month.
It's always, I love an honest man. An honest man shows up, you don't want him because he's too damn honest. Plus, the truth is a double-edged sword. He holds you accountable. As well as himself. Then teaches people on how to lie. A liar-based system. This is a wicked world. And a wicked nation, too, on top of that.
Every month. For the
But it
next
works,
6 months.
obviously.
Okay.
So what do you think? Should I start now? I'll go start today.
Unfortunately, we're not hiring at the moment.
I'm not the manager. I don't know.
Do you know when they're in? Are they in tomorrow or next week or?
Look at it right here. It's just
Oh, you're the. Oh, why didn't you say that from the beginning? I'm out here looking like a moron in front of it now. And your name was?
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Great to meet you. Thank you guys for your time. That's yours.
Gotta leave your resume.
And whenever they say write your name down or write your thing down and they're gonna call me, I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. Was it a good speech? You would have hired me on the spot?
Yep. And I can verify that's never real. Well, I'll call you later. I'll make sure that the manager is going to call you soon about whatever details that she or he can provide you, and then they'll just contact you later. That's always a lie, bro. Nobody gets hired. Why do I know nobody gets hired? Because they're still looking. They are obviously either people who just don't know how to manage a good business, being bound to AI, cannot never find anyone that wants to take the position, but because you don't fit certain, I guess, requisites or prerequisites, they're not going to look at you for any position to hire. They're just going to make sure to just get you up out of here, or say, oh no, well we took your account into consideration. Unfortunately, we are looking for someone else. We decided to pursue other candidates. I find that funny. You know, I applied for a Planet Fitness a while ago as well. You know, this Planet Fitness is still looking. They're still searching. So I thought you were pursuing other candidates. another candidate because they chose someone over me. I come up here and I see that your position is still up there where you're advertising that you could have someone to work there, but apparently due to you looking for someone, hell, I can even do the search again, see if they actually had someone to fulfill that role. New Sylvania search. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. They put 2. They lost 2 people. You want to know what's funny? Now that I'm no longer going to be pretty much living in this location due to the eviction notice that I have, I'm not even going to apply. I'm not. Look, y'all had an opportunity. You could have had a diligent worker. You could have had somebody that was always going to be there in their job. You could have had someone that's down the street. I'm literally like right down the way. I could have simply worked for you guys with ease. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. And I pretty much wanted to be like part-time. Look, I did not care to really work up there and give them all of my effort. I was just going to be just simply part-time and just the rest of my time will be mine. That's it. And then I look over here and these folks have decided, oh my God, we're losing a worker. On top of the worker we were looking to get applied up here. Now we need 2 workers. Clown world, man. Absolute clown world. Just to show you. This used to only have 1 up here. Now it says 2. They lost 2. Look, bro, I gotta say this. Because I didn't really want to talk much about it. It's up to me to kind of like be silent, but watch it happen from afar. People that do me wrong, I notice that this is happening a lot. You're losing a lot of stuff due to the punishment of the Heavenly Father. I pointed out this one time. There was this girl that made sure to get her followers to go to my account and mass flag me. She lost her whole business, bruh, and her channel, and her support. She was shouted out by Rosie O'Donnell, and that support is gone over what she did. She was one of those advocators of the LGBTQ pride community. It didn't even matter. Act Blue stopped paying her. That's a swift judgment. Imagine someone doing you wrong and they suffer from whatever happens after the fact. And not only it, like, bruh, I gotta say this. That judgment was so quick. It was like a month after she did what she did to my account. Like it happened like yeesh. Planet Fitness had me, they gave me the runaround. They told me, oh, just go ahead and reapply. And I know that position is still up there, but just go ahead and reapply. You'll be able to get a manager to talk to you soon, and we'll have an interview for a time for you. Just go ahead and reapply. Here's where they went wrong. You said that all I had to do is reapply, and then they'll get the manager to talk to me about an interview. And then decided to just last second, oh, we decided to pursue other candidates. Now you have to pay the piper. The Most High punished you. Instead of looking for one, you need to look for two. Suffer and die. Suffer. Ain't my problem now. I'm good on that. I'm not going to your business ever. If they do call me, be like, yeah, man, we're looking for a person for this position, and now we can no longer look for anyone else, but I'm good. I promise you I'm good. I want nothing to do with you.
If you could.
I wonder if he does an update to this to see if any of these places actually called him back.
But not the manager.
Okay.
She's not here today.
Let me help you out and just go ahead and fast forward to the end of this video where we can see if anyone called him.
A job on the spot.
Yeah, that's what it used to be, though. You didn't have
A job on the spot. At the mall, at some dealerships.
manager then.
I kind of feel bad. I feel like I shouldn't lie anymore. I should just tell the truth, to be honest. And I think a lot of people would misconstrue what I'm doing, because some people might say, you're taking jobs away from hardworking citizens for content. No, this is real. I will actually work here. Anyways, we're gonna put out feelers and we're gonna see how tomorrow goes. But yeah, let's get to work.
Bro's overqualified. Oh, okay. Update.
So, it has officially been 1 full week since I did my rounds at the mall, at some dealerships, and I didn't get a job.
Damn.
No one called me back. No one sent me an email. I even went back to some more dealerships like Kia, and it was more the same. Come with a resume, email me a resume, etc., etc. I don't know if I was delusional or if I was confident to the point where I imagined that this would work. But looking back, who the hell do I think I am that I could just walk into a store or a dealership or anything and talk my way into getting a job on the spot?
Yeah, that's what it used to be, though. You didn't have to be anybody special.
Yeah. These people who are selected to be in the workplace, I'm telling you, they are like, it's like they are preordained for a position to be there. Where do these people come from to where they are working there? How did they get that position? How the hell they get it? That don't make sense to me. I find that weird. Damn Altman's plan to destroy the world. I don't even know who Sam Altman even is, but we're about to listen to All Glory to God.
Not to us, Lord, but to your name be glory. All glory to God! Yeah! It makes joy, and in the pain, your name alone I will proclaim. When I rise, when I fall, you're the reason, you're my all. Every breath, every song belongs to you, where I belong. For from you, through you, to you are all things. To you be glory forever, my King. All glory to God in the highest. Every storm, every flame, you're the brightest. Whether I stand or whether I fall, your glory, Lord, consumes it all. Consumes it all. Yeah, not to us, but to your name. Your mercy and truth remain the same. In weakness I am made strong. For through you I carry on. Through you all things. To you be glory forever, my King. All glory to God in the highest. Every storm, every flame, you're the brightest. Whether I stand or whether I fall, your glory, Lord, consumes it I'll give you glory in the fire. I will give you praise through the trial. My strength fails, but your power remains. All creation shouts your name. Oh, glory in the valley, glory in the flame. To Christ alone, eternal praise. All glory to God in the highest. Every storm, every flame, you're the brightest. Whether I stand or whether I fall, your glory, Lord, consumes it all. Yeah! From the dawn of light to the end of days, I'll lift my hands like live yet praise. All glory to God. All glory to Yeah. I see.
That's actually my intro. I could have started it a long time ago, because I did go through pretty much like a monologue sequence, but I never did do my intro as I was supposed to, which is fine. Shout out to Cry Young though, but we can still listen to it. We'll still listen to the brother. His song is amazing. Christian EDM. All right, here we go.
Yeah. I see you talking again, but I'm covered. You crawl out the smoke, call me by my own name, play back every scene, every loss, every close shame. You remember that night, you reminded it its whole frame. Try to stain where you wash, but that stain don't hold same. You circle my mind like a vulture on cold prey. Said I'm still that kid, still stuck in my old ways. But you lied, you failed, you ran, you trained like an old tape. But I'm gripped by a new hand, and that grip just won't break. You breathe fire in my face, but they already burned ashes at the altar. Watch them overturn, sword in my right hand, truth in my chest. You rub out my worst days, he calls me blessed. You're just a dragon in my head, but I got a lion in my chest. You shot my past like Crow said, every word of God cuts through your breath. Swing that scripture, leave you shaking. Every promise on my plate. You're just a dragon in my head, and this holy soul gon' leave you dead. You slither up close, look at you, still so fragile. List off every scar, every crack in my armor. You ain't worthy of that call. You ain't built to go farther. But my king wore a crown, so my grace got it fathered. You hiss, you alone, but I'm backed by an army. I've been filled by your name, you can't steal what it guarded. Oh, at the verse of my veins like a blade in a scabbard. When I draw, you remember every lie that you started. You'll be fire in my face, but they already burned ashes at the altar. Watch them overturn, sword in my right hand, truth in my chest. You roll out my worst days, it calls me blessed. You're just a dragon in my head, but I got a lion in my chest. You saw my past, I cold said, every word of God cuts through your breath, your breath, breath. Swing that scripture, leave you shaking. Every promise on my plate. You're just a dragon in my head, and this holy song gon' leave you dead. You say you too weak, but it's strength in my weakness. You still chained, but he snapped every leg. Yeah. You say you still mine, but the dead got receipts. Written in his blood, you can't just that decree. I stand on the page to the page stands in me. Every line, every phrase, and it's still when I speak. But I call it the way, but you finish, watch your face. Every night I speak, it's erased by his name. You be fire in my face, but they already burned ashes at the altar. Watch them overturn, sword in my right hand, truth in my chest. You rolled out my worst days, it calls me blessed. You're just a dragon in my head, but I got a lion in my chest. You saw my past, I quote said, every word of God cuts through your breath, your breath. What? Swing that scripture, leave you shaking. Every promise on my plate. You're just a dragon in my head, and this holy soul gon' leave you dead.
I was about to say, yeah, man, this isn't my mix. I don't know why it has my mix up here and it has a list of things I selected for songs. I do have to say some of these are pretty. They are some bangers. Yeah, some of these are not even on my list. All right, that's enough of that. Shout out to Cry Young and shout out to All Glory Worship Corps. Amazing songs. Dr. Disrespect is currently live. The spiritual war is intensifying. And this brother's pretty built. Pretty big, brother. Strong in the name of the Lord. Glad to see it, man. Looks like a brother that's been having some experience in the military, too. I think that's a dog tag, ain't it? Let me see.
If you are truly actively seeking God.
Oh, no, that's just a microphone. But yeah, that man, he stays doing what he needs to. I know whenever it's going to happen, whenever I get back into my heavy fitness, back in the days where I used to, I mean, I still stay doing my fitness routines and workouts as much as I do. It's crazy that my family look at me and be like, "Yeah, man, you look kind of big, boy." If you think this is big, imagine what happens if I stay even more consistent. And I just keep on going with the discipline I have, man. I know exactly what it is I need to make my body stronger and get better. It just takes a matter of time. This man can't even wear a shirt without that shirt feeling like a leotard on him. I can guarantee you. These things are huge, boy. Look at these guns. They are shotguns at this point. I put on the armor of God every morning and pray, Lord Jesus, Son of God, have mercy on me. Well, I mean, this man got the armor of God. He got armor on right now, boy. That's that body armor. Permanent body armor.
God, you have to understand you are in a very real active spiritual war. The enemy will attack you. The enemy, the demons, they will attack you if you actively seek God and seek Christ. You know, many people realize that as they truly start intentionally seeking God and their prayer life increases, you know, they might intensify their fasting, get very intentional with trying to become Christ-like, grow in humility, their almsgiving, helping those in need, just truly trying to seek God, seek Christ. As they do this, they see that they are very much attacked with spiritual warfare. You know, before someone comes to the faith or before someone truly starts seeking God, you know, it seems like, you know, their life is easy on many fronts. And then as they start seeking God, seeking Christ, it seems like they're attacked on multiple fronts. You know, on one of those fronts, it's their passions, their temptations to sin. Those increase, those intensify. The temptations intensify. On another front, it seems like with the physical world that, you know, they might have, you know, physical ailments or, you know, random weird things that happen in their life that are just truly annoyances that are trying to derail them from their walk with God. It could be, you know, their friends or family start attacking them in weird ways, or people in their life. You know, there's many examples of this. You know, we see this a lot with people that when they first become Christians, first, you know, start seeking after God. A lot of times this happens in the Orthodox Church. We especially see this.
The punishment that I have to go through from people that see that I follow God, they will do any and everything possible to put a stop to my efforts. Especially a recent conversation I had before it escalated into drama, and it was something, and I quote, I understand that you follow God, but it doesn't hurt to represent what was it? It doesn't hurt at least once to just celebrate her birthday. Birthday celebrations are satanic. No. No means no. What the hell's wrong with you? These people are so demonic, they will listen to what they said and justify it with some reasoning because they believe they're doing right by someone else. When all it is that they're trying to affirm to themselves that what they are doing is not evil. and hoping that I will agree, and I will not.
This when someone becomes a catechumen, a lot of times when people become catechumens, the spiritual war becomes, very, very, very apparent. And this is true. The devil is not going to attack someone he doesn't have to worry about. So once someone starts seeking God, the battle's on at that point. Anybody that is new to the faith or has, been seeking God for any bit of time, they can probably see examples in their own life of how this is happening. So just like with a physical battle, just like with physical warfare, you need to learn the strategies of your enemy. You need to learn the patterns of the enemy. For us, we need to learn the patterns of the enemy, the patterns of how the demons work. That way we can be on guard from it and not let it derail our progress in seeking after God and seeking after Christ. Because what the devil wants is to knock us down and keep us down. One, so we don't seek God for ourselves personally, but then two, we don't actually become Christ-like. And then spread that to other people. So we need to learn what the patterns of the enemy are so that we can be on guard for that. So, a good example of this is I've got a buddy that, throughout his entire life, he's been a very, very staunch atheist. He took very much enjoyment on arguing Christians online for, a lot of his life. Very, very much an atheist. And over the last year, he's, truly started seeking after God to where now he is truly a believer. And with that, he's already seen some spiritual warfare in his life. So, coming from his time as an atheist and loving to argue Christians online, now he's doing that kind of on the other side. And so he battles, one of the things he battles is, letting anger come up. When he's arguing, now he's defending the faith. When he's defending the faith against, say, an atheist now online, a lot of times he wants to get angry, get very assertive with them, kind of have the last word. And so this is something he's actively struggling against. So with it, there's an example not that long ago that an atheist started arguing him online. And, he could feel that anger start rising and all that. He immediately went to prayer and was able to bring that down. And then he spoke to the person with humility and love. And then what happened from there was they went to the DMs and they had a great conversation to where the atheist then actually started hearing him out and asking very, very good questions to where my buddy was able to kind of plant the seeds with this person. It was a very, very fruitful conversation. With that, right after that, he was bombarded online with kind of very much random things that were tempting him with lust. Lust is something he battles against, and he had all these things tempting him, and he fell into that sin. So as we were talking about it, I had him think about the timeline of everything that happened, and he then realized, he hadn't thought about this yet, he realized that, okay, he did something good. He was, going immediately to prayer when the anger was rising. He helped someone, planting the seeds with this person who wasn't a believer. And then right after that, the enemy attacked him with something that, he battled against. And keep in mind too, before he was being tempted with the lustful things, he was kind of feeling proud of himself for how he talked to this person online. So the enemy immediately went and attacked him with something he deals with. He fell into it. So what this is he's able to now look at the patterns of the enemy. He sees that, okay, right here when I went to prayer and I actually did something that was fruitful, something that was good, the enemy attacked. So now he's been kind of on guard when he's done similar things since. So, this is something I've seen within my own life is, many times when I'm, seeking God, truly seeking God, and I am intensifying my prayer life, or, I'm deep in a fasting season, something like that, it's something that I know I need to be on guard with. Even putting out these videos to y'all, there's been very, very kind of weird, random things that happens a lot right around the time of me putting out these videos, to where now, me and my family, we are, very, very much aware that when, I'm putting out videos like this that, hopefully can help, even if it's just one of you out there, we have to be on guard that we know that the enemy, a lot of times isn't going to like this, and the enemy's going to attack. When I was in the military, we did something called an after action review, an AAR, after any time we went on a training exercise or a mission or anything like that. And essentially what you're doing is you're reviewing all the good and all the bad that happened during that mission. What improvements could we make? This is essentially what we need to do anytime that we fall down. When we fall down into temptation, when we fall into an enemy's trap, we need to do an after action review after we repent and get up. We then need to observe, what happened. We need to observe the events that led up to that, our thoughts. That way, in the future, whenever we have those thoughts again, or whenever we're in that same circumstance, we can be on guard for what's happening.
A lot of people in this world that will try to take you and your faith away as you are trying to focus that faith on the Heavenly Father. They will do whatever they can necessary to get you to worry less about the Heavenly Father. And it's like their primary motive, their MO, modus operandi, it seems to consist of the closer you are to the Most High, the harder their diligent effort is whenever they want to fight you to stop you from getting into an area where you can rise above and become better. Let's stop you and hinder your progress by putting these obstacles in your path. We didn't ask for an obstacle. We asked to be left alone. Let us keep our faith and we can just proceed to live our life and you can just leave us alone, but they just can't. They just can't. Even now, I got like weird, strange accounts showing up, but these accounts ain't saying anything. They'd be like folks that'll view, saying not one thing in the chat. I'm believing it's YouTube staff. YouTube staff, for every time they show up, and it's so easy to tell, but it's like, my view, for some odd reason, doesn't even count as a viewer in my own damn channel. Let me look up here right quick and make sure that I don't give and bear false witness. But I do see it. This does happen. Yep, it says one viewer watching right now. That's what it says here in the YouTube page. But, and I do love Streamlabs for exposing YouTube and their lies. But it says, and I quote, "0 views. They are seriously trying to take my numbers away, bro." The most insane thing I've ever seen. Influencers are getting paid to attack Candace Owens. Let's listen to the brother Dom Luker.
So influencers are getting paid to attack Candace Owens. It has to be the craziest conspiracy theory I've seen this month, hands down. I didn't want to get involved in this, but at the point, it's a narrative. I'm the narrative breaker. And I'm be honest, I just recently broke a story about a campaign that they wanted to get people to slander Nicki Minaj, the bot campaign that came out to be true. So I just want to go ahead and add my 2 cents on this, break it down like I did in the tweets. It's completely false. And it's manipulation at its highest form. So we have this document that mysteriously get released after an influencer claimed that they got paid to make.
Wait a minute, let's go back to that right quick. What you say?
They wanted to get people to slander Nicki Minaj, the bot campaign that came out to be true. So I just want to go ahead and add my 2 cents on this, break it down like I did in the tweets. It's completely false. and it's manipulation at its highest form. So we have this document that's mysteriously.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying that the influencers getting paid to attack Candace Owens thing. Oh, excuse me. I thought he was saying the thing for Nicki Minaj was false, but then he said true before that, and I combined that together, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's all good.
Get released after an influencer claimed that they got paid to make negative content about Candace Owens. Weird that it came out after that. But what's the strangest thing about it is that this document is so anonymous that there's no way you could pinpoint who exactly sent it. They don't leave no metadata, because you got to remember, in the realm of Candace Owens, metadata matters. So there's no metadata that's left. There's no CC, no BCC, there's no from and to on the email. If someone's willing to expose the campaign, there's no reason that they can't expose who it came from. They can't say who originated the campaign, and they can't say how much someone is getting paid. Now, I want people to look at this document a little bit closer and pay attention to how it says if you are a big account, you can post it yourself. If not, just post it about post Gunther Eagleman and all of these other people. Bro, that's not how campaigns work. You see, these campaigns, they would contact each creator and understand how much they're worth. They would say, okay, you got this many million followers, you have this many million impressions, we'll pay you at this rate if you push this story. It's not going to say if you're a big creator. So that means that they have the super secretive campaign and they sent it out in mass form to everyone and no one exposed it. Super odd. Then they go out to say that they want us to push Cat Turd. Like I said in my tweet, I actually know Cat in real life. Love Cat. Will die for Cat. But bro, they're not going to push Cat Turd. Why? Not because Cat Turd is incredible. No, because when you do these cancellation campaigns, what you push is a report. You have credible people like Cat Turd go and push that report and claim that the report itself is credible. They don't say one person is credible, push them. And Graham Allen, they're not going to push that video saying he's leading the charge. That's not how these campaigns work. It's complete manipulation. And like I said, it's evil itself. If Candace is allowed to criticize Charlie Kirk's wife, and we sat there and watched this man get assassinated on TV. We watched it. Gruesome. And she's able to do that. And we all know she's monetizing every episode. And no one can say, and she doesn't have the right to investigate that. Okay, fair. But you can't say in that same breath that people don't have the right to criticize the person that's criticizing Erica Kirk. How can you suddenly say that Candace Owens isn't getting paid, although we all know she's monetizing and making hundreds of thousands? And you go off and say that people that are criticizing this are instantly the ones that are monetizing. You see, that comes out because Candace Owens dropped that trailer. The trailer disturbs a lot of people because at the end of the day, like I said, Charlie Kirk was loved by a lot of people. So if you're speaking on Charlie, you can expect backlash. That's called a human emotion. There are people still grieving over the man's death, for goddamn sake. It's very fresh. So yeah, people are going to react. They're going to snap. And guess what? Conservatives are mainly Christians. They call people that do vile things in their opinions demonic, evil. So if you see a tweet that goes viral, I do news every day, guys. You see a tweet that goes viral, get 1 million views that says demonic and evil. And the first tweets I've seen about Candace, they said that terminology. People are going to also copy that and usher those same words because now it's in their head. And they also will get more views with it. Not a paid campaign. This is completely false. I've reached out to many people that were listening to this. All of them denied it or demanded that proof get pushed out. But guess what? It allows for people to say, okay, they're not attacking her because she's doing anything wrong. They're attacking her because they're being paid. And like I said, it is media manipulation at its highest form. And it's absolutely disgusting. It is. And like I'm not accusing Candace of pushing this out there. There's people trying to push Candace to that. No, it could just simply be a fan that want to give them some aid. I mean, she is the biggest black conservative, whether people like it or not, in the world. It's not hard to believe someone could just go out there and push that out there. But the problem is you have big accounts that's running off that narrative without validating it. But yet, they could say Candace Owens has the right to push for Turning Point USA when they actually have documentation, citations, witness statements, etc. And she has decades of over a decade of history with these people. People can sit there and say that she has the right to question that. But people can't, they just can get this document and say it's 100% real. These are supposed to be the super critical people that won't accept anything for its face value. Yet when it's something that is within their narrative, they take it and run with it. That is cognitive dissonance, and that's confirmation bias. People will make things real because they want it to be. I'm not defending nothing. I'm not alleging anything. I'm only here to denounce that document is completely fake and it's slandering people. That's unfair. It's a land of freedom of speech. Why is this so important to me? I do news every day. So if you're going to tell me that something like this, if I let this go across my timeline and I let it be successful, I have no honor and no integrity in what I do. Because that means I allow for these narratives to get pushed. What is real is real. What's fake is fake. The thing has gotten so big that someone has to speak on it. I'm not being paid to speak on it. People can't afford me. I'm seeing these campaigns. The most I heard was like 7,000, and that wasn't really like per post. They said it was like 2 posts that some people were getting. I don't even think multiple get. Might as well beyond that. You're talking about, and I make sure it's priced at that high, so I can't be pushed for propaganda. 25,000 per post. No one's paying that intentionally at that price, and it's worth that. It's definitely worth 25,000 per post, whether people believe that or not. The advertisers do. But you can't buy my voice for no manipulation of propaganda, because propaganda is very cheap and they try to buy people that are in need. They can't afford big voices. So don't just think they can send out a mass campaign on this blanket document, a Word document, and anyone can write and say, if you're a big account, what dictates a big account? They don't even say what's a big account. Someone could have 80,000 followers and think they're big. But it says a big account. You can push it yourself. If not, push a cat turd. What happens if someone have 1 million followers and think their account ain't big? You don't know what someone's perception of reality is. That's why they make these things super, super, super descriptive. But this wasn't. It's a lie. And it's people that...
Hell, why do you think I was so upset whenever my accounts were being, and still are being, shadow banned? Because, bro, I used to have about 3.2 mil. And was banned at 3.2 mil. Every social media platform ran a tumult against me. Even YouTube did it. Yep. I was banned from all of them altogether. YouTube hit me with some unnecessary strikes. They didn't like it whenever I was calling out pedophiles. So YouTube are like pretty much like pedophile defenders. Pretty much. I'm not going to BS you. And I've already let you know what YouTube is willing to have on open display. You know, that Lifetime show and things like that, where they just having children just learn their dance techniques from strippers, teaching them how to gyrate their hips and whatnot. And this is coming from the Lifetime Network, a channel that's specifically showing content for women. You don't see any men's content channel doing that, but you see things for women, though, doing exactly that. So I guess the Lifetime Network is trying to groom women to become pedophiles. And or women are just in... I'm just saying it. The proof is in the pudding, bro. This has went untalked about for a very long time. It goes to show where the mass majority of Western women's mindsets are. It's pretty disgusting. But you'd rather show this than to have me on display and exposing all the crimes of what's happening in this nation. Dog, what the hell, bro?
That's looking for an alley-oop. If you want an alley-oop, go research, go find one. But if something too good to be true, goddammit, it is. I have nothing else to add to this. Said what I got to say, man. I'm out. Hopefully that...
Yeah, shout out to Dom Luca. Shout out to that brother. Black voters are done. She went off. Also, shout out to Kingdom Reacts, too. Gavin Newsom is 100% effed now. Says Nux Taku. Oh boy, pedophilia is just a sexuality. What did I just get done talking about? Well, it escalated quickly here.
Now, Benny Johnson tweeted this tweet from Donald Trump, and it's honestly incredible stuff. All right. Wow! Gavin Newsom just dropped out of the presidential race, Donald J. Trump. And that's crazy, because the presidential race didn't even start. So I think this is amazing. So all of us, Gavin Newsom dropped out. What could he be referring to here? What could he possibly be referring to in this area? What is he talking about? That's so wild. Well, he's talking about this. This clip went giga viral, and I mean giga viral, and it looks even funnier. I showed this to you before, but he doubled down in the worst way ever.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech.
That's
because
so
I
weird.
cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
All right, bro walks into a group of black people and he's like, yo, I'm just like you. I'm also retarded. I'm also dumb. I also can't read. That's crazy.
Blacks, I need y'all to stop being the punchline of a joke and show how wise you actually are. I'm speaking of blacks, no other group that want to assimilate as being black. No Somalis, no Haitians, no Afro Latinas or Latinos or whatever the hell y'all want to go by the abbreviations. I'm talking specifically to the descendant of Judah. You blacks. You American blacks. Like, what is wrong with y'all, bro? Stop perpetuating the stereotype because you are the punchline of every joke. You hear what the brother here is saying. Am I going to hold him at fault for saying it? Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. It's definitely the truth. The majority of blacks are retarded. Thank you. What else you want me to say? You saw the brother I just got done looking at last, Dom Luker. It's an amazing brother. Including the Poor Man's Podcast. Amazing brothers. Ami Sotomayor, amazing brother. Y'all have to get your things together. You really do. This ghetto mentality where you decide to want to get online and start screaming out the top of your lungs about something that has nothing to do with your upbringing or your well-being, not your upbringing, but your well-being. Not good. And then we got Democrats that like to stand in front of you, go on stage, and then try to pander and cater to you by saying, I'm stupid too. Eesh.
Only difference between me and you is that you could say the N-word and I can't read. We're literally the same. How do I know you can relate to me? I'm literally retarded. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that. So bro decides to show up and talk about how, and he talks like this. I'm like you. All right. This is incredible stuff. I love it so much. Bro's more racist than I am. All right. And I try. All right, I'm racist for a living. I'm literally racist for a living. And this motherfucker beats me every day. It's honestly humiliating. It's embarrassing. Like, I would consider myself, like, not casually racist. I'm, like, professionally racist.
You're not doing too good of a job at the professional part of the racist issue, though. You can't out-professional the professionals, the original professionals at racism, and that is the Democratic Party. They're the ones who lynched you if you left the plantation. Sent the slave patrol to come return you from the point of where you ran to bring you right back to the plantation and still humiliated you to the point where they damn near killed you or they just simply outright killed you. That's the Democratic Party. The same party who's responsible for the creation of the KKK. Just go out there and start lynching niggas. Then when they realize that their routine of trying to radicalize whites in the country didn't work, they tried to radicalize blacks. And that's not working. Because they're using 3 fat, black, hideous lesbians to be the spokesperson of Black Lives Mattering. Whenever this group started off with a bunch of single mom, desperate, dry egg tramps that cannot even make babies anymore, showing their tits out in public. That's how they started. Shout out to the Femin movement. That's where they came from. It was short for feminist, but it was femin. Rhymes with semen. Oh boy, that's crazy.
I'm like professionally racist. I do my absolute best to learn facts. See, I'm anti-rape, and therefore if there's like certain communities that are like rapists in general, I'm just not a fan. The left is normally pro-rape in order to not be racist. All right? I feel like a total amateur, a chump next to this guy. It's crazy. But what if I told you he used to gloat about how he could read so well?
You've written a hell of a book, and I don't say that lightly. I went through it in a quick hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And trust me, I don't read very fast, but it reads at an unbelievable pace. It's
He read a 300-page book in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
so well written. And of course, it's so familiar because I felt a little bit adjacent to so much of the subject matter. But it's 18.
They want this guy to run for president. He's literally like leading the Democrat polls for the guy running for president.
Chapters. It's an impressive piece of work. 263 or so pages.
That's incredible. 263 pages. He read it in an hour and a half. That's insane. So let's just understand what's going on. When he talks to white people, he says, I read super fast. Super fast. I'm just reading. But when he talks to black people, he's like, I'm also a drug addict retard. Yeah, but I'm the racist one for noticing that the average Somali IQ is 67. So this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, so this guy, he'll talk to white people. I read so well and proficiently. I'm so good at reading. I read. It's so good. I'm, yes, new.
Please stop adding points to very retarded people like Somalians. Please tell the truth. It's not 67. It's just straight 60. It's just straight up 60. I'm not somebody that wants to apply something because I'm trying to give someone the benefit of the doubt of being smart. No, Somali people are legit. At this point in time, retard has been watered down to where it's not even strong enough to describe these people. I will rather call them brain dead. Yeah, they're brain dead. It's just nothing that will ever work that will improve them as a people. It's over with. Whatever future you think they will have will end the moment they begin to stop getting support from the USA. The moment the USA stops supporting the Somali people is the moment they will all die. Is that our fault? Nope. It's going to feel bad to see a group that just end up causing their erasure, but I mean, why would that be our fault? That has nothing to do with us. It has plenty to do with the fact that they are the majority of product of incest and they don't know how to manage a nation of their own. You know, get good. You're trash, kid.
Nuclear physicist. And then he talks to black people and he's like, anyway, it's pretty great. He's anti-racist, I would say. Now, another thing that my guy's been doing lately, and this is truly incredible, Gavin Newsom pardoned an illegal alien convicted of attempted murder. Sambun Fiamani lost his green card following a conviction for attempted murder. Right? This isn't just an accusation, okay? This isn't an accusation. This is real, all right? He actually was convicted for attempted murder, all right? Assault with a firearm. Following the conviction, he was placed in removal proceedings and issued a final order of removal by a judge, all right? So they can't yell and scream about due process. They literally got a guy on attempted murder for deportation. The judge agreed. He had an order of removal, okay? Gavin Newsom's pardon took away this attempted murder's qualifying convictions that made him removable from the U.S. by protecting criminal illegal aliens like Faimani. Gavin Newsom is putting the lives of all Americans on risk. So Gavin Newsom is out there signing pardons for retards that are murderers and attempted murderers to put them back on the streets. This is incredible. He just keeps doing it. I wonder why there's so much violence. I don't know. I wonder why California is a giant shithole. Well, we're going to be looking at that in just a minute. All right, but this is truly incredible. So that's not it. Newsom did another thing. He started something called the Elderly Parole Program. The Elderly Parole Program is a program to let people out of jail if they're elderly. Just doesn't matter what they are, doesn't matter what they do. I don't care if they're child rapists. Put them on the street, says Gavin Newsom. Well, that's exactly what he did. Because remember, prisons are bad. Prisons go against human rights. We need to abolish prisons. I'm a leftist, and I want kids to get raped because I'm left-leaning, and I believe in the human rights of rapists and pedophiles. Truly unbelievable.
I got a phone call from a retired sheriff sergeant who used to work child abuse back in 1995 about...
Look, I've been saying this for the longest time, but my stance on, like, a lot of policies, especially immigration policies, is this.
Stop raping, sir.
And the left just doesn't agree. It's a slight ideological difference I have with the left.
Stop raping, sir. Oh my goodness.
I believe in the idea of not raping, and then the left is pro-rape. It's really rough these days.
About this case.
Stop raping, Grandpa.
David Allen Funston. He helped investigate it. He was angry because he read he was being released. I had no idea about it. Read the LA Times article.
Wow.
Saw what they'd spoken and got the wheels rolling.
What's going on?
So yesterday, they printed out probably thousands of pages of arrest reports on Mr. Funston, of the cases he did.
All right, Mr. Funston is out.
And take us back to 1995.
All right, what's Mr. Funston been doing in 1995?
He was out preying on children in the Sacramento area.
Ah, a pedophile. He was just wandering around and saying, "Hey, Sonny, it's California here. Gavin Newsom might let me out of prison if I only diddle a couple of children." And so that's just it. That seems to be what happened.
We're talking children as young as 3 to the age of 7.
As young as 3, you're saying? As young as 3? Gavin Newsom, I may be an elderly person on parole, but 3-year-olds can't run very fast.
Molesting them. One young girl in North Highlands kidnapped her, molested her very viciously.
Holy fuck.
Drove her to Placerville and kicked her out of the car after punching her. Think about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Caught eventually through the hard work of the sheriff's office, did a great job investigating it. Thousands of pages of interviews of children. And one thing about these kids, they were resilient. They did an amazing job IDing him. And back then, as a parent or anyone around kids, hey, don't take candy from strangers. Don't follow anyone. Don't get in someone's car.
That's good advice.
This is what he did. Lured them with candy, Barbie dolls, toys.
Yeah.
And abused these kids.
Quite literally. Quite literally, we got the worst fucking guy ever. The guy that every parent warns their children to stay away from. A guy that lures kids 3 to 7 years old with candy and brings them into vans and rapes them and beats them. All right? This is the classic pedophile. Bro didn't even need Roblox, all right?
Horrifically. He was given 3 consecutive terms, 20-year terms.
All right.
He should have been in prison the rest of his life.
All right, so he got 60 years in prison. That's a lot of years, right? He should have been gone for good.
Unfortunately, in 2020, a bill was passed that made folks eligible for parole as early as 50 years of age.
This bill that was passed by Gavin Newsom. It's a California bill.
Once they serve 20 years. So he qualifies.
So if you serve 20 years in prison, they just let you out now because you're an elderly person. And they just put you out.
He's 64 years old. I'm 62. That is dead wrong. These children, he ruined their lives.
Yeah.
And now he's eligible. And the damage he's done, he stole their childhoods. And my issue is...
Stole their lives. He stole their lives. Child abuse is the biggest nightmare out there. He quite literally stole their entire lives.
The parole board. I read the reports. They're horrific. You've seen some of the things he did. There's no explanation. You can't explain it away. There are some folks that deserve a second chance in life. Someone that does these type of things, they don't deserve a second chance in life.
Totally agree.
What are we coming to as a society here in California?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I don't even think this person should be in prison. I think this person should be executed or castrated at the...
This man. Are we like kindred spirits? Yo, Nux is on my timing.
The very least. So I firmly believe that all pedophiles need to get castrated. At the very least. Like, before even needing to discuss prison time, execution.
Nah, castration. I don't want them living anymore. Just go ahead and get them up out of here, bro. You know, some people want to put them in a wood chipper and cause a huge mess. And it's going to be something where we have to smell the decaying, rotting body of an individual who ended up being blended up in something that was made for trees and logs to be discarded. So if y'all want to clean up that mess, more power to you. I think it's just time that we put people like this, hang them over a volcano, shoot the rope, have that rope just release that person in the volcano. Very simple. You might think it's too quick. I think it's just very simple. Hang them up. Now, while they might be gasping for air, and they're going to be like, I'm going to ask them one question. Would you like to breathe again? Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to be like, okay, shoot the rope. You can breathe. Good luck coming back up, though. That ain't happening. Good luck. You will now be used as lifeblood for the rest of the planet, for the rest of your life. Or rather, yeah, your life is pretty finished anyway. Unless you're the thing. But I doubt it.
Castration is the bare minimum. Bare minimum. You don't need testicles. All right, that's my thoughts. But moving on.
California, that it's okay with this, to let him out. You think about some of the offenders that do the child abuse cases, child molest cases. Typically, they're older males. Now we're seeing a lot of folks in their 20s and 30s. So under the law, and we have folks in their 20s that have pending cases right now, they can be up by the time they're 50, having done 20
That's
years.
right. That's right. You could have a 20-year-old pedophile that rapes a kid, and they would let this guy out of jail at the age of 40 under this elderly parole act, thanks to Gavin Newsom.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Someone has to speak up about it, and we've got to change this.
Yeah.
So he lured these kids.
So again, let's just understand. My stance, politically speaking...
Stop raping, sir.
They do not agree. They just don't see it the same way I do for some reason. For some reason, they just don't see it that way.
Kids. Kidnapped the kids. Kidnapped 2 sisters. He was convicted of 16 counts of kidnapping, child molestation, with multiple young children. Remember, the youngest victim 3 years of age. Sentenced over 20 years in prison, as well as 3 additional consecutive sentences. Consecutive, not concurrent.
Wow.
As they follow each other. A judge in Sacramento described him, and I'll say this, as the monster parents fear most. Yet today, the parole board decided
there it is.
He is suitable for release.
There it is! 16 counts of kidnapping! Release him from jail. Why should we keep him in jail? He's probably just mentally ill.
We can't have this. It's got to change. And in California, it's battle after battle when it comes to our children. A few years ago, we're fighting human trafficking of a child. That wasn't a violent felony. Had to fight to get it passed. They got it passed. Now we're dealing with mental health aversion. You can kill your 1-year-old infant and get your record expunged and go work with other kids. What in the hell is going on in California? 100.
Yeah. So essentially, that's kind of what we're dealing with here, and I think it's horrifying. It's horrifying that this is even a law. Sacramento sheriff slams Gavin Newsom's elderly parole program, which allowed David Funston, a serial child rapist, to go free. It's
Stuff is depressing. It really is depressing, bro. Persona calls out Discord for lying. Insanity. What's this?
So as I'm sure we all know, Discord released a statement basically backtracking on their age verification and saying that they're going to release it later this year instead of early March like they planned. In part of their statement that we went over yesterday, we were actually talking about the fact that Discord called out Persona and said that Persona didn't meet the bar of expectation that Discord had. So let me just read this out here. One of our core goals with age assurance is to give you options. As part of that, we've been evaluating multiple vendors to offer a range of verification options people are comfortable with. One of those evaluations was with Persona, a company used by platforms like Roblox and Reddit. In January, we ran a limited test with Persona in the UK only. After completing the test, we decided not to move forward with them. And consistent with our privacy policy, all data was deleted after completing verification. We've set a new bar for any partner offering facial age estimation, including that it must be performed entirely on device, meaning your biometric data never leaves your phone. Persona did not meet that bar. So they essentially threw Persona under the bus and were just like, yeah, you know, it was mainly their fault. So just go ahead and blame them. So Rick Song, who has actually been pretty active on Twitter recently, who is Persona's co-founder and CEO, actually called out Discord for lying. I'm going to go ahead and read out what he says, and then you guys can come to your conclusions on whose side you're on. Honestly, I think both parties suck here, but let's just see what Rick has to say. We understand Discord is proceeding with
insane. That's absurd. That is absurd. Imagine we have a far left Democrat, radically progressive president in 2029 who says, all right, we're giving TPS legal status to 1 billion immigrants from all over the world. They're here legally. Come on in, 1 billion people. 1 billion people, come on in. Who knows, a Democrat might do that. Does that make it a good thing? Because they're here legally? They are here legally, technically. Does that make it okay? No, of course not. Of course not. This is such a... It's so depressing to see this from a Republican senator. He's a Republican senator. I have to call it out. This is ridiculous to hear this from somebody who's supposed to be America first. This is such a terrible opinion. Such a terrible opinion to have. But that's enough. That's neither here nor there. That's not really the main topic of today's broadcast because, ladies and gentlemen, we have some news today. We're going to be talking about the Save America Act and John Thune. If you will allow me, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow on Rumble and on YouTube. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, America First Republicans across the country are stepping up right now and speaking out, saying, pass the Save America Act. Otherwise, we are going to replace every single Senate Republican that refuses to help push this bill across the finish line in the Senate. And yes, that even includes Senate Republican leader John Thune. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this right now. There is a poll on X, on Twitter, going viral. This has 18,000 votes right now. The question is this: should leader John Thune be removed as leader of the Senate? He's been doing a pretty bad job of pushing this Save America Act across the finish line here. Well, look at how many people voted. Over 18,000 people have voted. The options are yes, remove him. No, he should stay. 99.2% of people, over 18,000. Sample size, over 18,000. 99.2 said yes, remove him. Less than 1%, 0.8% in fact, said no, he should stay. You can see how I voted. Sorry. Guilty. Now, okay, here's the question though. Can John Thune actually be replaced? What would that even look like? Well, we've got the full diagnosis.
All right, give me a second. I'm going to go mute, and I've been muted anyway, but I'm also going to change the view, so give me a second. Gotta eat.
Matter of days? It's actually pretty easy for them to do. Step one, if at least 5 Senate Republicans request a special meeting party leadership has got to schedule it. It could be done tomorrow. Step 2, at that meeting, a leadership challenge can be formally made. Candidates for a new leader can then be nominated at this meeting. The conference can move directly to a vote to replace the leader of the Senate, John Thune. This can all occur on the very same day, one day. Step 3, if the members agree to proceed, a secret ballot vote is conducted immediately. The results of this secret ballot vote are typically known within hours. So, well, let me finish this. It would only take 27 Republicans to make this happen. So all we would need is 5 Republicans, call a meeting, call a vote, challenge John Thune's leadership, and then they have a secret vote where you don't actually know who's voting for who. All it would take is 27 Republican senators say, yes, we're voting for somebody else. We're voting for maybe based Mike Lee, Senate Republican Mike Lee. Who knows? It could be anyone else, right? As long as it's not John Thune, I suppose, at this point. So right now, there is a massive push to get this done. And so really, the Save America Act right now is sort of stuck in limbo right now in the Senate because Senate Leader John Thune refuses to bring this bill to the floor for a talking filibuster. And actually, for an absolutely excellent breakdown of what that would look like, a talking filibuster, we need to do it. Go ahead and take a look at this video. Speaking of Republican Senator Mike Lee, an audience favorite, he actually broke all of this down earlier this morning. Take a listen.
If Democrats don't want this bill to pass, they should be required to go to the Senate floor and explain why to the American people, who 85% of whom want this bill to pass. And you've got a president of the United States who night before last identified this as the top Republican legislative priority.
Yeah.
In that unique circumstance, especially whereas here, the security of our elections, our ability to confidently tell voters that they can rely on the integrity of our elections is at stake, we should enforce the talking filibuster. Meaning, if Democrats don't want this bill to pass, they should be required to go to the Senate floor and explain why to the American people, who 85% of whom want this bill to pass. This has a way, inevitably, of bringing about consensus, of helping to bring debate to a close. The best example I can point to in terms of a modern historical analog to this, the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Okay.
At the time it passed the House of Representatives, it was supported by a simple majority of Americans, somewhere between 51 and 55%. But they were still 25 or 26 votes shy of cloture in the Senate.
Oh.
Now, had the Senate in 1964 responded the way many are saying that we have to respond to our 10-vote cloture deficit today, we're only 10 votes shy of cloture. Had they responded the same way in 64, the Civil Rights Act would not have been passed into law. Certainly not at that time. They would have just given up and moved on. But what they did is they put it on the Senate floor. They stayed the same legislative day for weeks on end. And after weeks of debate, that tended to sharpen the minds of those who realized they were fighting a losing battle. The American people wanted this thing to pass, and they eventually came to the table. They negotiated some additional changes, and they got it passed. So if they could overcome a 26-vote cloture deficit then, with legislation fairly supported by a simple majority of Americans, we can do that today when we're only 10 votes shy of cloture and 85% of the American people are with us.
So effectively what he's saying is that, larger hurdles have been overcome in the Senate by using a speaking filibuster than the hurdle we're currently experiencing. Okay. So he's saying this has been done under, against harsher odds than we're up against right now. So yeah, listen, obviously this entire situation is just absolutely ridiculous when you stop and think about it. And frankly, just disrespectful, to be honest, to all of us patriotic America First Americans that actually want to have voter ID laws and proof of citizenship laws. That's 95% of us Republicans, by the way, 71% of the Democrats even. What is that? 84% of Americans in total. This is a bipartisan agenda. Almost everybody in the country 84%, overwhelming majority. I mean, can anybody think in recent American history, when have 84% of Americans, left and right together, agreed on anything? I can't remember anything. So let's get this done. In fact, this situation has recently gotten so ridiculous that now even you love to see it, the Republican House Freedom Caucus is now making official advertisement videos designed to put pressure on John Thune into actually doing his job. The Freedom Caucus, a bunch of Republicans in the House, released this video earlier this morning. You're going to like this. Take a look.
The House Freedom Caucus led in passing the Save America Act in the House to require voter ID and citizenship to vote in federal elections. Now it goes to the Senate. You're going to hear the excuse that it needs 60 votes to pass there, but that's not true. Senate rules allow bringing the Save America Act to the floor at any time. If 51 Republicans show up, Democrats would have to filibuster, standing and talking, hour after hour to block it. As long as Republicans show a backbone and stay united, Democrats will eventually run out of time to talk. Tell your senator to make the Democrats actually debate instead of just giving in to them. The House Freedom Caucus says the Senate should support President Trump and the House in passing this law essential to saving America. The Freedom Caucus Foundation is responsible for this ad.
So I wanted to play this just to really shine a light and expose and highlight how much pressure, overwhelming pressure there is on John Thune right now. And good, thank God for that. Trump is pressuring Thune. That's the president. The vice president, J.D. Vance, is pressuring Thune. The entire Trump administration, Besson, all of them pressuring John Thune. Pass this bill. Save America Act. All of us, America First Republican voters, regular people, we are pressuring Thune. We've called him up a million times. We're leaving voicemails and emails all day. And now even the House Republicans are saying, come on, dude. Hey, Thune, in the House, we have passed this bill or a version of this bill 3 times. First, it was called the SAVE Act. Then it was called the SAVE Act again. And now it's called the Save America Act. They've passed this bill. In fact, they've made it better 3 times, the House Republicans. They've done their job. They're like, hey, listen, guy, Thune, now it's time for you to do your job in the Senate. He's not doing his job. Now, the reason why John Thune said he might not force a talking filibuster is because the Senate Republicans are just so busy. Their schedule is so full. They might not have time to pass it, says John Thune. Well, we have a report about that coming out from One American News featuring Matt Gaetz. Take a listen to this.
To your campaign, to the State of the Union. But first, you voted for the Save America Act. You're one of the conservatives who fought hard to get that bill out of the House. And we were told by Leader Thune in response to requests from Senator Mike Lee and Chip Roy that there would not be a requirement of a talking filibuster. Democrats would be able to block the bill without having to stand up and repeatedly say why. And he said the reason for this was that time is very precious in the Senate. Today, the United States Senate spent 2 hours at a Mardi Gras-themed dog parade. What's your reaction to that?
You know, that's just empty words, Matt. You know how it works up in Washington, D.C. But, you know, for him to even say that to something this important as the SAVE Act, this is to save our democracy. I think he will change his mind when Donald Trump gets involved. You know, if it takes weeks to make them stand up and have a talking filibuster, he's got to do it because this is the most important bill that we will face. And for them to play games with this, not have the time, I mean, it's a nursing home anyway. Some of them may not have the time physically, but this is a time to move on it, and they need to put the talking filibuster up.
Average age of a Senate Democrat is 67 years old. He says it's a nursing home. These Democrats, listen, they are panicking right now. They don't want to be put in a position to try to hold on to a talking filibuster. You know, no disrespect to anyone older in the audience here, but I can barely stand for 10 hours, 12 hours, Lord forbid, 24 hours, however long they're going to have to get up there and try to, and not just stand, but talk and argue and debate about why voter ID laws are bad for the country. Good luck. Senate Democrats. So John Thune, put him in that position. Make him do it. If they're so stalwart, make him get up there and defend their terrible ideology here. Now, luckily, President Trump is getting directly involved. President Trump has had enough. In fact, he might just go ahead and cut John Thune and the rest of the rhinos and the Democrats in the Senate out of the picture altogether. We saw this report yesterday. Take a look. Breaking news. President Trump has previewed a, quote, 17-page draft executive order that claims China interfered in the 2020 presidential election as a basis with which to declare a national emergency going into midterms that would unlock extraordinary presidential power over voting. This is a report coming out of the Washington Post. If this report is true, and if President Trump signs off on this executive order saying China interfered in our elections, this would then allow President Trump to, one, ban mail-in ballots nationwide. These are absentee ballots, mail-in ballots, framing them as a vector for foreign influence. And they are. We all know that they are. It would, two, allow President Trump to restrict or ban electronic voting machines altogether under the notion that they can be compromised by foreign actors, and they can. We know that they can. We know that they have been. And three, withhold federal funding and federal certifications from any states or counties that are found to be operating in non-compliance with this executive order. So we are praying that two things right now. John Thune, get a grip on the situation, pass this bill. If he doesn't, let's get 27 Senate Republicans and replace this guy and then pass the bill without him. And three, if both of those first two options fall flat, if they fail, Trump has a backup plan. We are going to lock down the 2026 midterms with or without Congress. That's what it's going to take to put America first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is the big Save America Act news of the day. President Trump has a backup plan. If you're new here, do me a favor, make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, a lot of big stories today. And we haven't even gotten to the biggest story of the day, which is what is going on in the Middle East. Every single day, a couple months ago, we would only have one big story every day. Now we go live for these morning shows, these afternoon shows, and we've got like 4 or 5 big stories every day. There's a lot to talk about in this country, around the world also. Let's talk about the Middle East, because I think things are escalating. We might be seeing something happen tonight, this weekend, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. Right now it is, I believe, almost midnight in Israel. Normally when we see Midnight Hammer took place 8 months ago at 2 or 3 in the morning over there. So, hey, something might be happening tonight, but listen, why don't we go ahead and break all of this down into a very complex situation. I'm going to give you a crash course recap of everything that has been going on, how we got here, where we are, where we might be going, okay? Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have some breaking news coming out of the Middle East. As it would seem, President Trump is done attempting to negotiate with the Iranian regime. And I'll tell you what, everything going on the ground right now in the Middle East, in Iran, in Israel, really all across the entire region, makes it seem, it is suggesting immediate action will be taken as soon as this weekend, perhaps even tonight. Now, to say the least, it has been a very eventful 24 hours leading up to where we are now. Things are escalating at an exponential rate. We're going to do a crash course and break down everything that has gone on. Now, yesterday, the United States and Iran held a meeting, negotiations in Geneva and Switzerland yesterday afternoon for another round of negotiation talks. The United States, as I'm sure many of you are aware, made the following demands of the Iranian regime. 1, zero uranium enrichment, not allowed anymore. 2, all of Iran's already enriched uranium, and they already have a lot of enriched uranium to varying levels, must be handed over and relinquished to U.S. custody. You're not allowed to have that anymore either. 3, Iran must dismantle every single one of their nuclear enrichment sites, their nuclear locations. Shut all of them down. And then 4th and finally, the Iranian regime must shut down their entire ballistic missile program. Now, some big demands. Trump is done playing games. Really, this was less of a negotiation that took place yesterday afternoon and more of just, listen, this is what we are demanding of you. And if you don't capitulate, then all hell is going to break loose. Now, the interesting component of this dynamic here is that Iran, from all the reports that we have, the Iranian regime seems to have completely rejected, not one, not two, but every single one of the Trump administration's demands that were made yesterday. The Iranian regime has rejected all of them. Now, worth noting, the United States, following this meeting, still has not issued a public statement after yesterday's negotiations with Iran in Geneva. Publicly, technical talks with Iran are actually still scheduled for next week in Vienna, Austria. Right now, the U.S. is still planning on meeting up again with Iran in Vienna for technical talks next week. And Marco Rubio also has a trip scheduled to Israel on Monday and Tuesday of this upcoming week. The trip has not yet been canceled. It's still on, during which he'll be in Israel to talk about the Trump administration's 20-point plan for the Gaza recovery, to rebuild Gaza. But military readiness right now still continues to increase in the Middle East on both the United States. Well, it seems as if both the United States and Israel are what can only be described as setting up an attack posture. Seems like the U.S. and Israel are both kind of getting ready to attack right now. Now, very curiously, President Trump himself has also remained effectively totally silent as a barn mouse following this meeting yesterday's failed negotiations with Iran, something that is, frankly, a little bit uncharacteristic of President Trump. You know, he doesn't exactly keep his opinion to himself. Now, we did hear from Vice President J.D. Vance yesterday evening, who said that the Trump administration has absolutely zero intention of engaging in a, quote, as he said, prolonged war with Iran. Everybody right now is worried that we're going to have another war on terror 2.0, war in the Middle East 2.0, reminiscent of the Bush era. So J.D. Vance came out and said, listen, we are not interested, no interest in a prolonged war with Iran, as he put it yesterday evening. Now, like I said, a lot of action is going on the ground in the Middle East, Israel, in Iraq, in Iran. Big things are happening. Movements are being made right this very moment. And I want to talk about all of that. But first, before we break down what's currently happening now, or really over the last 12 hours, I want you to take a look at this report coming out of Fox News to really put all of this into context.
See all the green dots on the map? These are long-term U.S. military bases operating near Iran. You've got several here in the area of Kuwait. You got Al Udeid Air Base, which is the largest in the entire region. That's in Qatar right here, some around the area of Oman. Heck, you can stretch back to western and southern Turkey as well and find them. All the white dots are the other bases that the U.S. has a military presence in. And you could see it here, right? In Qatar, eastern Saudi Arabia, up here in northern Iraq. So, I mean, the plate is well set now in terms of bases. Now let's talk about the naval buildup, and this has been quite the armada. Earlier today, we got word that the USS Gerald Ford had moved off the coast of Israel, and then the Roosevelt now is near Crete, the island of Crete in Greece. The Canberra and the Michael Murphy are now in the Persian Gulf. All right, they are positioned, as well as the Santa Barbara and the Mitch are now there in the Gulf of Oman. The president talked about having an armada, and that's what's been assembled here now, nearly surrounding Iran.
Largest U.S. military buildup in the Middle East since 2003, leading into the invasion of Iraq.
To the west and to the south, with Iran perhaps in its sights sometime soon. Jillian Turner is watching the movements of the U.S. Department of State, and she's got more from there now. Jillian?
Good morning to you, Bill. The U.S. Embassy in Israel now says that all non-essential staff, as well as their families, should leave the country if they are able to, if they want to, and it should happen today, Bill. This comes as tension between Washington and Tehran is now ratcheting up by the day. The vice president is going to welcome Oman's foreign minister to the White House shortly to further discuss Iran. This comes after Vance told the Washington Post overnight the Trump team has no intention of engaging in a prolonged war with Iran. The U.S. wrapped third round of nuclear negotiations yesterday in Geneva, a neutral territory. They spoke for many hours and were mediated by officials from Oman. Iran's foreign ministry says this. Take a listen.
Conflicting statements made by some American officials will continue to cast doubts and questions.
Iran says the talks are only focused on nuclear weapons, but the Secretary of State says that's just for right now.
Eventually, we'll have to have conversations about more than just the nuclear program.
Also on the U.S. agenda, Iran's ballistic missile program, its human rights abuses, and support for terrorists. As you mentioned, right now the Pentagon's deployed over a dozen warships and thousands of sailors to the region. 7 days ago now, at the inaugural Gaza Board of Peace meeting, President Trump started the clock.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, that puts everything into context here. Massive buildup. The pressure is being applied to the Iranian regime. And still, it seems as if the Iranian regime is, as of yesterday's meeting, effectively unwilling to capitulate to President Trump's demands. Let's talk about what has happened in just the last 12 hours. Very eventful 12 hours. Okay, we've seen a series of, effectively, Middle Eastern evacuations. Non-essential U.S. personnel have been given the green light to evacuate out of Israel. Non-essential U.S. personnel, like civilians, get out of Israel. That's come out of the U.S. State Department. Non-essential U.S. personnel are also right now evacuating out of Baghdad, Iraq. Canada has instructed its citizens and non-essential individuals to leave both Israel and Iran. Kazakhstan has instructed its citizens to leave Iran immediately. The United Kingdom has withdrawn its embassy staff from Iran and temporarily shut down its embassy in Iran altogether. The embassy's been shut down temporarily. The United Kingdom has also instructed its non-essential personnel to leave Israel as well. China earlier today gave an order urging all of its citizens to leave both Israel and Iran. And by the way, the list here just goes on and on and on and on. Poland, Australia, Brazil, Germany, more countries than we can even mention right now, have all similarly instructed their citizens and non-essential personnel to immediately get the hell out of both Israel and Iran. Seems like the U.S. State Department and sort of the U.S. State Department counterparts in all of these other countries all over the world kind of know something is coming. Seems like they kind of know that some attack or conflict is on the horizon. And by the way, as a little bit of a reminder, we saw similar evacuation orders or orders to get out of Dodge from all these different countries. We saw orders come through about 2 days prior to Operation Midnight Hammer. 8 months ago, 2 days prior to Operation Midnight Hammer, we saw the same thing happen. All these countries stepped up and said, all right, everybody go home. Something is about to happen. Everybody get out. So, like I said, it seems like big things are about to take place here. Let's talk about what's going on the ground right now. So earlier today, this is about 5 hours ago, maybe 6, we are now getting reports that the Israeli military, the IDF, is now pre-placing Iron Dome missile interceptor batteries all across the entire country, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, all over the place. Now the Iron Dome is getting deployed to potentially intercept missiles from Iran or from their terror proxies, Hezbollah namely. So seems like I said, seems like things are escalating here. The Iron Dome missile interception batteries don't get deployed for no reason at all, to say the least. We also saw, and this is a big deal, we saw, this is the IDF, Israeli Air Force, for the last 24 hours or so, has been strategically striking Hezbollah's weapon storage facilities. Okay, we have a short little video of what that looks like here. This is an Israeli airstrike on a Hezbollah, missile and weapon storage facility. So let's think here for a moment. Why would Israel be blowing up Hezbollah storage facilities right now of all times? Well, if a conflict does break out with Iran, one of the concerns is that the Iranians' terror proxies across the region, of which Hezbollah is one, would help Iran and start firing rockets or missiles into Israel. So Israel right now seems like what they're doing is preemptively trying to neuter as many Hezbollah, weapon storage facilities as they possibly can to prevent them, to prevent Hezbollah from firing back in retaliation, trying to get rid of that threat preemptively. That seems like what's going on right now. We also, very curious report came out today. This is from the IAEA. This is the International Atomic Energy Agency released a report today saying Iran has stored highly enriched uranium at its Isfahan nuclear facility. The revelation comes after an IAEA report was sent to member states and then seen by Reuters. Uranium, enriched up to a 60% purity rate, close to weapons grade, is reportedly stored right now at the Isfahan nuclear facility in Iran. This is one of the sites that was struck during Operation Midnight Hammer last year. Now, to put this into perspective, it says 60% is almost weapons grade. Technically speaking, anything above 20%, 20% is the threshold for what's called highly enriched uranium. 20% plus, highly enriched. Now, the way this works is, technically speaking, if you have enough uranium enriched at a rate of 20% plus, if you have enough of it, you can technically make a nuclear weapon. So a lot of people, they say, well, you need to have 97% enriched for, you actually don't. It's like, if you had enough of 27% enriched, if you had enough of it, you could make a low yield nuclear bomb. It has to be 20%. Now, the more enriched it is, the less you need. But if it's 20% plus, if you stockpile enough of it, you can make a bomb if you're so inclined. And so this is one of the concerns with Iran. We know for a fact, actually for a very long time, that they have been able to enrich up to 60%, and that they have in fact enriched up to 60%. That's one of the big concerns right now. Now, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to make sense of the Iranian logic. If you're the Ayatollah Khamenei, what is going on in your head? What thought process here is guiding the Iranians? Because so far they've refused to capitulate to President Trump. It seems clear to me, considering the Iranian regime has refused to meet the Trump administration's demands, that they've sort of looked at the situation, they've done the calculus here, and U.S. bombing campaign, which is what we're probably going to see here in the next couple days, they actually prefer that. They've decided to get bombed as opposed to capitulate to President Trump, effectively surrendering, and then looking weak to their own people. Because we all know that right now inside of Iran, there's a huge amount of, what's a good term for this? There's a huge amount of civil discontent, to say the least. We've seen all the protests and we've seen all the riots over the last couple months. Let's call it civil discontent going on in Iran right now. So simply put, it seems as if the Iranian regime is actually more scared of its own people rising up and overthrowing them if they appear weak than it is of President Trump dropping a bunch of bombs all over the country. They seem to think that they're safe, buried deep down inside of their bunkers. They'd rather just try to wait this out in their bunker complexes. And so, hey, this is admittedly, and I think you all know, obviously an incredibly complex situation. Really, only time is going to tell whether or not the Iranian regime's gambit is going to pay off here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that really is the big update on where we are right now with the Iranian situation. If I can kind of relax here, let me lean back in my seat. I would not be surprised at all if we start seeing bombs get dropped tonight. Could be tomorrow. In fact, I think the last couple, well, I believe, refresh my memory, I believe that the Maduro raid was on a Saturday. I believe that Operation Midnight Hammer was on a Saturday. Might be a Saturday. There's this trope. It's almost like a little bit tired at this point. Everybody says it. But there does seem to be some truth to it, that anytime President Trump, goes in and does something, anytime he gives the order, it's always over the weekend when markets are closed. Trump, he's a big market guy. He looks at the stock market. He talks about the Dow Jones. He talks about the S&P. Okay. Well, the markets are closed between Friday night and Monday morning, and Trump doesn't like to do crazy things, and then create market instability, turbulence in the market. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want to see the market dip. And so if you look back through some of the actions that Trump has taken, all the craziest stuff he'll do, it's always when the markets are closed over the weekend. So all the crazy stuff can unfold, and then everything, the dust has settled. Things have kind of settled out by the time they reopen on Monday morning. So that might be the case this weekend. It seems.
All right, my bad. I had to finish my food, but I was also submitting a video on TikTok to make sure that that video, maybe it will get viewed, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm suffering from so much censorship. It is un-American. It is literally un-American. Censorship should not happen under any circumstance in the USA. Social medias all across the board have probably gotten like a short list, not short list, a pretty long list. I'm running those people who more than likely are one of those people that are more than likely on that list of people to be censored. But as what I currently have to deal with whenever I'm on TikTok making video content versus the amount of outreach I'm getting on YouTube, it's not even close. It's not even close. And Instagram benefits me more than both of them combined. Instagram, bro. A meta platform is benefiting me more than one of the platforms that gave me 3.2 million and another one where my videos somehow get like on a form of algorithm to where people begin to view it. But now I realize after a while, those videos views seems like they're dwindling. I don't know what's going on. Excuse me for that. I'm just looking at TikTok again. How could we shut down Venezuela in less than 3 hours, but we won't even arrest our corrupt politicians is a good question, because I would like to have an answer to that. Our corrupt politicians in this nation, they seem to can enjoy their freedom no matter what they do, even found engaging into pedophilia. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. The things that's happening to me right now is more akin to what happens. Excuse me. I really hate drinking things like this sometimes because I swear. And it's going to come to a time where I stop. Well, I could. We could always look for an alternative, but this is only for the convenience of right now due to me just keeping myself a little nourished and making sure I get the drink I need. But whenever I get myself more situated and more established, is when I be able to get more beneficial things for me in my body. But anyway, I forgot what I forgot. Forgot what I was about to say. I pretty much did. So anyway, I want to talk about the last thing that I was about to move on from, and that was how our politicians are corrupt and we just refuse to arrest them. There's no There's no reason as to why we cannot get rid of these corrupt sons of gun. Even like Supreme Court justices. Congressmen and congresswomen. Each and every one of them. Not all. Almost all of them. Found with illicit photos of underage children on their PCs. It's crazy. It is indeed crazy. PC Dispatch, more election fraud exposed. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, why am I not surprised? I'm not sure if I go back to my old park that I used to go to, and we'll be able to look at things the same since, you know, things have changed and I'm not really quite, you know, taken, so to speak, but that created some memories. Sure, those are going to come flooding back as soon as I go and visit, but it's going to be me by myself this time. I started off by myself, and ironically, it will end with me being pretty much by myself. How's that? I guess that's pretty much how the way of this world has been made. In the words of Job, I was born alone and I shall die alone. That's pretty much me. I was born alone and I will die alone. Since this is almost finished, let's go ahead and get rid of it. I'm gonna get myself ready to be packed up soon. Not really soon, but just going to come to a time where you won't see me streaming as much because I'm going to be moving. And as I'm moving, hopefully get myself into my own spot. More than likely going to be in an apartment. But, oh man, even that apartment is not going to feel the same. Of course, the old memory of what I started off with being there was whenever I was with my roommate. My roommate is no longer around. I don't even think he's even in the city. But I had to break the bad news to him to tell him about this situation. To let him know, like, yeah, man, no, you remember me being together with an individual, but that individual is no longer there. Yeah. We made good memories. Now those memories are all gone. It's time. Used to be somewhat of a dynamic duo. Nobody ever seen us split apart up until now. Always was together no matter where we went. Now it's just me. And maybe this entire time it was always just me. As much as I won't want to believe that due to the individual I dealt with whenever she was more healthy and well. And then it turned into this. And it turned into this like overnight too. It was just really, really weird. How did this just escalate in such a manner? But I don't think she's all the way there anyway. So I'm just going to come into grips with the fact of the matter that she is just already gone. And pretty much nothing to really explain further on that point. Don't want to turn this into a depressing sounding stream, but It's life. It's what I had to deal with. As I'm currently in this situation, this is pretty much still going to be a somewhat of an issue. As I'm here in her household while she's not here, and there's no telling where she is. It's not like that matters. Well, only thing that matters is to see what my plans are going to be next. What I'm really looking forward to, hoping for, is if I could get a call from the military about my age waiver and I'm out of the country and no longer have to worry about somehow coming back and be out of a home. My home will be there on the base. That's where that's going to be. But I'm going to train myself to the bone. I'm going to be so damn different, you will have no idea who the hell I am anymore. Next thing you see, I'm going to be like freaking Cock Diesel. Sheesh. It's already bad enough that people are even looking at me in the way I am right now, and they assuming I'm look like I probably might be doing a few steroids. I'm like, no. No, I'm not. This is what this looks like right now. And I can already barely fit this shirt. Things actually kind of tight on me. But how can I help it? Nephew said, yeah, you looking a little thick right now, man. I'm like, yeah, it's all this training. You got a body given to you by the Heavenly Father. You can't help but be healthy. The most important thing for you to do, and the only thing that should be the most of importance to you. You were given this body by the Heavenly Father. He didn't have to give you a damn thing. He really didn't have to give you anything. He didn't have to bring you to life. He could just simply have you dead in the womb. Right before you came out, or not just have you not develop. What is required of us from the Heavenly Father is obedience and to do whatever He wills us to do. And one of those most important things is to believe in Him. That's the first commandment. And next is to love your neighbor, love your people. As you love yourself. And a lot of you don't love yourself. And when you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. That's impossible. Sorry. I know how some of you might think you could just go ahead and take the shortcut. Thinking that you could go ahead and give to a charity or give a donation to somebody, and you believe that this is going to put you within good graces of the Heavenly Father and with that person. I got some bad news for you. It's not going to turn out the way you think it will whenever you go to those pearly gates. I'm letting you know that right now. It's either Yah's way or no way. My body belongs to Yah. My body belongs to the Most High. I wasn't really this surrendered before, but now I am. All of my fights, all of my battles, the stress, the turmoil, and the things that want me to be miserable, I give my battles to the Heavenly Father. No sense in battling. It's not worth it. Evil is teeming out there. They're endless. What do you expect? You're living in an evil world. This is hell. A simulation and a trial stage to test you to see how strong you are whenever it comes to a time for you to go to the next life. And that next life is going to be your eternal one, assuming if you can make it there. Well, you can make it there, just there are two directions for you to go. You can go to an even worse hell than where you are, or you could go to, like I described earlier, those pearly gates. And the few words that's mentioned that you really don't want to hear, and you better hope to your soul that you don't hear this, is "Be gone from me, I never knew you." If you hear that, you might as well go ahead and prepare to die. And I mean eternal death. You will see nothing of this or the next anymore. You're not going to eternal damnation. No, you're gone. No spirit, not even a freaking carbon blueprint or fingerprint of you. Nothing. There will be no memory. All that people remember of you will be vanished. That's it. You shall die with no honor. This isn't spookism. This isn't something where I'm trying to talk to you under some form of sensationalism. No. It is what it is. And a lot of these people right now, the way they are living, they have no idea that they are living against what the Heavenly Father wants them to live. He, all he wants is your obedience. Hell, all he would even want also is just for you to talk to him. You have the conversation. You guys could. Starts with a conversation. Just confess your sins and do it in private. And after your confession, give your sworn oath not to repeat them after they are acknowledged. One does not acknowledge the wrong that they've engaged into, give an apology, and somehow want to go back to what got them in trouble in the first place. It reminds me of a repeat drug dealer or drug abuser. Or someone that is a well-known chronic unhealthy individual. And you know you are unhealthy. So you decide, hey, maybe I to do something to get myself back in functional order. We was unhealthy. Yeah, we was unhealthy and shit. Not good to be unhealthy. Do some push-ups or something. Go run a lap. Stop eating fast food and pick up a salad or something. Make sure that salad is organic too. Something grown from an actual crop. It's bad to run. If Satan feeds me seed oils, then that's whenever you fight against Satan by eating something from legitimate oil that is beneficial for you. Yeah, you can avoid those seed oils. You just make sure you find something that is much more healthy. Avoid the canola oils and what's the other one? The sunflower oil, safflower oil. That's the one that got me whenever they started publishing that. Canola only, bro? Yeah, you consume that if you want to. You can go ahead and be my guest. Seed oils, more like rapeseed oil. Hey, yo. The name of that is still something that boggles me. Yeah, I'm over here consuming that rapeseed. That's crazy. Yeah, man, it's best for us to keep our bodies in order. Our bodies need to be caught in check, man. This is a test phase to see if you are well deserving of your spiritual body whenever it gets to that point. If you can't take care of your earthly body, you do not deserve a spiritual. That just goes with the program. It's very important. It's also easy to avoid all the poisons they put into the grocery stores and the shops, the restaurants and things. Health is wealth. Thank you. Can you start us with a prayer, bro? Well, that prayer cannot be public. It has to be something that you can have more of a private conversation or a private act to do so. I can't do prayers that's public. That's something that cannot be done. You shouldn't over glorify or commercialize that. My papa made me drink 5W30 Mobile 1 growing up. Well, one could say you have been raised to be a revved up engine. You are revved up like a deuce right now. We could call you Lightning McQueen. Ali, boy. Look at this. Look at this bottle. Hey, yo. All right, my homeboy was also talking about how he was looking possibly to join the military as well. Because I said the same thing into my Discord. See, I'm looking to very possibly join the military. Life as a civilian hasn't really it's really not grown on me. It's pretty miserable. I think it's time for me to join the armed forces. Love you, man. Peace and respect. Likewise, man. Likewise. I don't want to die for Israel, though. Oh, no, you don't have to do that. That's not going to happen. Oh, no, you can go ahead and keep your admiration for your nation and serve only your nation, but yeah, you're not going to be dying for no Israel. That's over with. Don't forget, your rights as a civilian, and rather, not even civilian, but your rights as an individual still is there. You can say no to every demand that they are making of you whenever it comes to serving another nation. That's something you don't have to do. I'm not telling you to desert. I'm telling you, you have a right. You absolutely have a right. Then that same right you have, that you possess, your brothers and sisters have that same right. Even though I think women should never be in the military. I love dessert. Me too. What type of dessert you like, though? Too late. Too late. I'm already AWOL. That's crazy, man. In the Navy and the Filipinos made me do things I didn't want. There's no denying that. The Filipinos. Oh boy. Imagine. Hey. Hey, nice to meet you. You American? You like sake? Oh boy. There's no denying them even though we have the right. Yeah. Yeah, well. Might want to have to keep yourself distant from certain things that kind of want to force you to do something outside your power. Might as well put some barriers up, you know. But yeah, man. I'm looking into getting into this military soon. Finally enlisting into the armed service or armed guard, national guard, or wherever the position puts me. I'm ultimately looking to go into the Army Reserved area. Either Army Reserve or National Guard. I don't know too much about Coast Guard, though. I could. It's a little iffy. If they need me, I will answer the call. But, again, I'm a little on the fence with that. I don't know how we're going to bring our economy back, though. That's another thing that I've been having an issue with. How are we going to bring back our economy? There's nothing wrong with being a seaman. Yeah, I mean, we were born that way after all. As a former seaman joined the Air Force, they get more for less in most situations. I heard about that. We got to make precious metals great again. Hoorah. Make precious metals great again. Advertise for more ammunition. Make precious metals great again. Here goes more guns for this American civilian. And I say American civilian. Not an illegal. American. Don't listen to him about metals. I don't know. He might know quite a bit about metals. He might even know about metal in the frick illegals. Or like he might know about something that we might not know about metals. Like for example, heavy metal. Yeah. And I'm talking about rock music. Who are y'all talking about? They're like baby metal. Oh crap! I knew he was gonna bring that. I knew it was somebody. Hey, look, it was an open gate, and he walked in with it. Slipknot chants, bro. I used to listen to a lot of Slipknot back in the day. Slipknot, a little AC/DC. Too much AC/DC. Never mind. I've listened to AC/DC so much to where I began to hate them. It's not even AC/DC, it's just the fans that make me hate them. Like they're like overly exaggerate that band, man. Hey, have you heard AC? Yes, I have. I'm tired of them, bro. I get it. There at the time was like mainstream, but it's like, bro, leave me alone. What if I told you that there was a place with a lot of trees, a veritable oasis of green in that depressing sea of brown? It was years ago, and I may have been experimenting with Gettr at the time. So in that depressing sea of brown, what was the sea of brown that you seen? Hey, Tool fans, they take DMT and talk about opening their aperture. Machine elves control our brains. Three Dog quote, Bow Wow. Oh. Okay. That went over my head because I don't really know too much about that. What about there was another band I wanted to say. Salisbury Steak, that is all. I was about to say something else, like another band's name. Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're not metal, but alternative rock more so likely. Slayer. Red Hot Slayer. Yeah, the where I was going earlier, I made a video on TikTok. That video was describing our economy, and I don't know how we're going to manage to bring our economy back. I think our economy is cooked. It's over with, man. I don't know how we're going to bring that back. I need a quick breakdown as to how we're going to boom in our numbers on bringing back the dollar from its dying state. I mean, it can't be because it's a fiat currency anyway, let's be honest. We might as well just go back to whatever standard that we used to having back then. But it's like, again, we had to bring back the value of our monetary system. But that's not going to happen if we're not making anything. We don't even have made in America goods. We're using something from a hostile nation. The nation of people literally don't like us, but we're using their goods. So I believe we're cooked. I don't know how we're going to come back from this one. This one looks wild. How did get blacklisted for showing ammunition in YouTube videos and not paying the toll, bro? The toll troll? Oh, no, not displaying ammunition. Are we cooked, chat? Yes, we're cooked. We're cooked. Oh no, we're beyond cooked. Oh man. Another thing I brought up in the video is how is it possible that whenever fast food is concerned, you learned about all the things that the Epstein files has, and it admits that human bodies are being utilized as replacement meat in fast food restaurants. How are you still in service? I'm a little concerned for that. Now, it could be a possibility that there's some people that enjoy eating ass meat burgers. I don't I don't know. I don't know, bro. That's a tough pill to swallow. What did Jeff Steen mean by jerky in the chats in which he wants jerky? Hey, look. He could mean an arm jerky, a leg jerky, a kneecap jerky. Elbow meat jerky is insane work. I know a fellow ass meat burger enjoyer. No, don't put me in that category, bro. Oh, bro. No, you can't do that. No. I'm just saying, there's some people that enjoy it, and that ain't me. They will cut in line, cut in front of you in traffic, bro. They will honk at you, damn near hit your vehicle, about to flip you over pretty much. Run a red light. Oh, I gotta go over to this fast food restaurant that could be possibility selling something that might serve human dead meat. Oh, it's not that serious. Did you not hear about the files? Man, F them files. I want that meat. I mean, pause, but yeesh. They will die for their right to go to this fast food restaurant, right? Appreciate you brothers for dropping by, though. Needed the good laugh. What do you think of their claim that aliens are now in the Pacific Ocean? Bro, have you not looked at the Somalian people and haven't questioned once if they were aliens? Look at the size of their head. They got an alien head for real. Look at the head to chin ratio and tell me exactly what it is you think about that. Or excuse me, I meant to say crown to chin, but you know what I meant. What about Joe Biden and his shapeshifted twin body self? Where his ears seem to have changed, his facial structure changed, speech has changed, and even his thought patterns have changed. Some people said that that's not Joe Biden, that's some actor. I don't know the actor's name, I can't remember. Heard a notification of a message come up, but nothing came up. Joe Biden been dead since 2020. Actually, I want to say before that. Wait, they actually censored your speech? They didn't even. The notification is up, but it shows up in the Streamlabs chat. It just won't show up in the YouTube chat. Yeesh. Billary Blinton spitting eggs in her drink. Oh yeah, there's that too.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Hey, appreciate the subscription, man. Feel free to share this live with anybody that you possibly know that might enjoy content that they might want to laugh at or have some jokes. Talk things out like brothers. But yeah, I believe he was dead since like 2018. 2018 to 2019, give or take. Like a 1 to 2 year difference. Yeah, that man's been gone. And I'll give you proof. Why did he, like, he disappeared for a long time and just get his presence back known again? And that's whenever we begin to see like a gradual change in how he used to look, how he spoke, and even how he moves. The guy doesn't even move anymore. You remember he used to be on tour and going from one place to another? Haven't seen that anymore, though. I wonder why. Yeah, that dude's been dead, bro.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you. Yeah, he has been dead. Hate to see how things ended up turning out, where not only he ran for office, but people actively, truly believed that he would be better than Trump. Same thing with the Charlottesville crap that got Biden in the race. Just lies on lies. Yep. Are you monetized? Not yet. But I can always work on that. I have to be monetized first through, let's see, through a certain amount of subscriptions. I'm not sure how that number could be. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking about it, let me go ahead and give it a try, give it a check, and see where the hell I'm at right now, where that is. I don't want to bear false witness and tell you a lie, so let me see. Earn. Eligibility. Showing data as of February 22nd, 2026. I'm eligible to well, actually, I need to get the eligibility check, which is 500 subscribers. And I need one of the following: 157 valid public watch hours or 6.7K valid public shorts views. Oh, excuse me. 3 million. 3 million. My shorts kind of take off. I think my valid public watch hours will be a lot better than that, though, because I'm usually live anyway. But my shorts don't really get that blown up that much. If someone sent you a payment for making fun of Somalians earlier, how would I do it? Well, I do have a Cash App. I do indeed have a Cash App. Yes, I have access to that too, because there was a point in time where I did it because I deleted the app. I don't know why I did. Why did I delete the app? No, I didn't. I changed phones. Yeah, I changed phones. Still got my previous phone. I just need to get the screen fixed so I'll be able to have two phones. Instead of two chains, I'll be just two phones. Oh, in case you might ask, I didn't break the screen. It was my ex. Damn, like Kevin Gates? Yeah. There's a problem though. Kevin Gates like ass meat burgers. That's going to be a problem though. Whatever happened to Kevin Gates? I've heard of him like 10 years ago. Probably 10 years ago. This man just fell off the face of the planet. So do you. Don't don't you ain't got a lie to kick it. That's crazy. All right. We're going to see what's up here. Because I was looking at some news earlier and I was listening to it. Epstein response just leaked. Hillary Clinton sealed. Okay, let's see what Hillary Clinton had to say.
And as you can see from the fact that there's 24,000 likes, she disabled replies and 1.5 million views.
Why do they always disable the replies? You guys are seriously that scared of backlash? And the replies that's already entered down below, I swear, it's like the most botted responses possible.
You see that it did not go so well. And then I'm going to show you how she ended up getting caught in like a whole bunch of lies. Secretary Clinton's opening statement, it's amazing she still calls herself Secretary Clinton, to the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Mr. Chairman, ranking members of the committee, as former senator, I have respect for the legislative oversight and I expect it to exercise, as do the American people, to be principled and fearless in pursuit of both truth and accountability. All right, well, that meant nothing so far. As we all know, however, too often congressional investigations are partisan political theater. Bitch, if you ate babies, we want you dead. No offense.
I agree. But one thing that I want to add emphasis to is the word exercise, and we know Hillary Clinton does not. I'm just saying.
But legally speaking, of course, after a trial, obviously, I'm not calling for any violence, which is an abdication of duty and itself an insult to the American people. Bro, this is not. What are you talking about? You think this is partisan political? Like, dude, she is literally trying to push. She is literally trying to push that the Republicans are using Epstein to weaponize it against Democrats. Are you?
Isn't that what the entirety of the Democratic Party did whenever they were saying release the files? Why do these folks act like we all don't have access to the internet to where we could go back into the Wayback Machine and look at what was previously posted? Really strange.
Kidding me? Have you been alive lately, lady? Like, what are we saying? Oh, give me a break. Everyone's silent on Epstein under Biden. Now under Trump, it's the biggest hullabaloo of all time, and it accidentally exposes all the leftoids. Are you kidding me? The committee justifies its subpoena to be based on the assumption that I have information regarding the investigation of criminal activities of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Let me be clear. I do not. Yeah, right. My butthole. As I stated in my sworn statement January 13th, I had no idea of their criminal activities. You were still buddies with them after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested as a pedophile in 2008. What are we talking about?
And there it is. Because all I know is that Trump was the first one to break the news and snitched out Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't hear about a Bill Clinton that did the same thing that Trump did, or Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, not even George Bush. He was there too, but I mean, let's be honest. He's also a Skull and Bones Society member too. I wouldn't really try to put too much effort on George Bush to do much, let's say, tale-telling, so to speak. He said some lines that I agree to, though. He needs to stop associating and stop negotiating with terrorists. I don't negotiate with terrorists. That should be foreign and domestic. It really should be. Give me a second. I'm going to play the rest of this, though.
Ghislaine Maxwell was at your daughter's wedding. Like, what are we even talking about? This is crazy. She really thinks she could just deny it. Maybe delete some more emails. I do not recall ever encountering Epstein, sir. I never flew into his plane or visited island, homes, or offices. I have nothing to add to that. So basically your husband did all that completely alone? Well, that'll be interesting. Apparently he's doing his deposition tomorrow. Definitely subscribe. I cover all the weird shit that happens on the planet on the Nuxor channel, and it's great. All right, no amount of child rape is going to make me stop covering this garbage. All right, no matter how many suspicious people that piss off Hillary Clinton commit suicide, all right, I will be here. I mean, unless I am found dead with 3 bullets to the back of my head, ruled a drowning. Like every decent person, I've been horrified by what I have learned about their crimes. It's unfathomable Mr. Epstein got a slap in the wrist in 2008, which allowed him to continue his predatory practices for another decade. Yeah, truly horrible, unthinkable stuff. Mr. Chairman, your investigation is supposed to be assessing the federal government's handling of the investigations and prosecutions of Epstein and his crimes. You subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the Department of Justice or directly the FBI under Epstein's crimes.
So before he goes on into another sentence, I do want to add on a little bit as to what was already read. He said, as I stated in my sworn declaration on January 13th, I had no idea about their criminal activities. You can't just say you didn't know as you proceeded to engage into the businesses of an individual who have been not only found once, not twice, thrice, but 4 times, as a repeat offender of an individual who has been obviously like he just have no plans to change, but this stuff is mainstream and everybody knows it, and you got this news being broken in your face like everything else that have been broken in your face. Possibly a steel chair, maybe a mirror. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, you can't just say you didn't know, but you had done businesses with this man. He's pretty open about his interests as well. Literally everyone says how open this man is. He holds nothing back. He had a literal satanic temple. How do you say you don't know? Man, that's crazy. All right, enough about that. Branded Synchro is insane now. I haven't seen this page before. Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon. I don't think this is Master Duel, though. Yeah, this is a Master Duel. This is the physical card game. It is all good. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of some Balatro, though. Take my mind off of some things. Because why not? But I do appreciate the brothers for showing up earlier, and they were contributing to the channel with their subscriptions. Maybe they could drop by whenever they feel the need to. Don't want to hold the brothers hostages. Go ahead and not score pair here. Let's go with flush. Go ahead and go with that. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. That's not good. See if we can get hearts. Hearty flush. Oh, right. I'm not showing that. Yeah, my bad. I had no idea. That's why I prefer to have an audience here so they can let me know. Yeah, we can't see your screen, but whenever everybody leaves, nobody gives me the notice that, hey, we can't see you playing. All right. There we go. Get about 2 queens, because why not? Don't care for the sun. Well, that's not good. Or is it? That's a straight. Nah, I'm missing a 5. Yeah, I'm missing a 5. I can't do anything without that. Come on. Do I not have any? That was crazy. Now I should be able to get Cavendish, which is banana plus. This will work. Upgrade the pairs. There we go. Flush. Yeah, I gotta get rid of this first. Get rid of these 4. I don't have a 10. Now I do. Almost was a straight flush. All right, Space Joker. I need a devil card for now. Nah, let's not. That'll be a waste. First drawn hand. Can I get a pair that's thrown away? High card. Didn't want that. Oh, I didn't want that at all. Spaceman. Making me angry, Spacey. Why you not activate? Let me activate this right quick. I'm not going to win, but it will be worth a try. With this deck in particular, I need to have something like chip size increase. If my chips ain't too big, I can't get bigger score. That's kind of crazy. You know what? Let's go with that. I can't get it straight. Three of a kind ain't strong enough, or is it? That's gonna be crazy. Crazy streets. Please simulate. No. I'm gonna be completely broke though, unfortunately. Obelisk. It's not bad. Not good either. Paradolia could work. Extra large blind. That is not good. I was looking forward to that. You gotta give me a 10. 10s surely exist. I do know that. There we go. Beautiful. All right, Emily. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the Rumble stream and the YouTube stream as well. However, I'm going to bring back the YouTube stream. Reason that is because the Rumble is eating up my bandwidth probably. I might need to turn down the bit rate. And I'm looking to put it down to at least 6,000. It's at 8,000 right now, and I think it should be a perfect set. Not sure how many viewers I ended up bringing on Rumble, but it would be nice. Whoa, I almost went to sign out. What am I signing out for? Let's see. Yeah, let me do this. Maxwell +1. All right, now I can just go ahead and discontinue it. And that should be off. So what I need to do is go back to this original video. It only has 66 raw views, 12 unique views. That's crazy. My views on Rumble go up and down, so I don't really know how to keep track of it anymore. But yeah, give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and redo the YouTube stream, and it should be